live, everybody. Welcome to another episode of... Oh, shoot. I didn't have it ready. Sorry. I didn't have it ready. Welcome to another episode of... No News is News. I am your host, Alex R. Wagner. Today, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it, guys. Because today, we have Hayden Panettiere died. And everybody's doing some Candace Owens shit on that. We've got the Tupac Shakur trial starting today. Comrades 2 Gun already in here. My God, my guy. Welcome back to the show. And we got President Trump talking to a 16-year-old hero.
Left, everybody gets
boy.
hit.
That's a lifeguard.
Left, everybody
We will
gets
get into
hit.
it in a
No
second, guys.
news. It's news. No news. It's news. Right, left, everybody
Is JD
gets
retired
hit.
again? JD is retired
Everybody
again.
gets hit.
So
No
let's check those
news.
phones out.
It's news. No news. It's news.
Chatter.
Who's lying? Who's lying? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's getting roasted tonight?
We have Marco Rubio, John Ossoff, AOC, and Gavin Newsom is in fourth now, guys. Wow. Okay, getting some switches.
We're breaking
Remember, for
everything
4
just
months,
for
2 Gun
spite.
putting it out there. Appreciate you, 2 Gun, keeping that membership, becoming a comrade for 4 more months as we continue this show. Help support the channel. You are the best, comrade. Who will be president in 2028? Guys, make sure you leave a comment and become a member. It is the best you can do. Especially coming February 1st of next year, there's going to be no more shorts on this channel because they don't pay me for them. So the only way you can get all those shorts moving forward after February 1st, 2027 is to be like 2 Gun Cohen and become a member of the Comrade Club, guys. 813 days until election. And we've got Marco Rubio with 23 wins. We've got John Ossoff, right? Is that how that went? John Ossoff with 1 win. We have AOC, and then we have Gavin Newsom with 22 wins. The poll starts now. The show starts now. Get your vote in. Let's pull up the news, guys. What do we got going on with the news today?
Welcome to No News is News.
All right, here we go. Heroes and Nashville actress Hayden Panettiere dies at age 36, sparking everyone to go full fucking Candace Owens, guys. It was kind of crazy. It's ridiculous. She's clearly on drugs, even in the podcast she was in. She was recently on a book tour this year after publishing her memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, in which she wrote candidly about addiction, postpartum depression, recovery, and domestic abuse. Actress Hayden Panettiere, best known for her starring roles in Heroes in Nashville, has died at 36. No cause of death has been announced. She was incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all whom knew her, her rep said in a statement. Panettiere began acting as a child before becoming a household name as cheerleader Claire Bennett on Heroes and as country singer Jeanette Barnes on Nashville. In recent years, she spoke candidly about addiction, mental health, and the 2023 death of her younger brother, Jensen. Earlier this year, she released a memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, reflecting on her struggles and her decision to give up custody of her daughter, Aya, to former fiancé, Wildemir Kalashkio, a Olympic boxer. Okay, so she gave up custody of her kid. She looks and sounds like she's on fucking meth in the clip of the one podcast that allowed her on the air. And everybody's over here being like, oh, the story goes this. She basically says, like, I was 18 years old. I was told by this woman that I trusted on a yacht to get naked and lay next to this rock star. And the rock star went like this. And he acted like it was a normal day. And then the rest of the story goes, I'm tweaking out, I'm on fucking crystal meth or whatever. And she says, I was naked and then I hid on the boat until we got back to shore. But it was a scary moment. What the fuck are we doing, guys? Come on. Let's not Candace Owens this. It's sad. It's very sad. She lost custody of her daughter. She was a fucking drug addict. She was a fiend of Hollywood. She probably did have some kind of actual situations that happened to her. But we're not going to live in this reality where Hayden Panettiere was on a Israeli boat with fucking Netanyahu or some shit. Let's calm the fuck down here. No signs of foul play. Hayden Panettiere's death and no signs of foul play, cops said, revealing she was found at an acquaintances, so a drug friend's house. Panettiere, 36, was found unresponsive at an apartment in Greenville, South Carolina at around 1:50 p.m. Sunday. Upon arrival, medical assistance was administered. However, the individual, later identified as Hayden Panettiere, was pronounced deceased at the scene. A Greenville police spokesman told NBC News. The case is under investigation by the Greenville Police Department in conjunction with the Greenville County Coroner's Office. The preliminary investigation was not indicated any signs of foul play or suspicious circumstances. An acquaintance of Miss Panettiere placed the call at 911 to police, they said. President Trump on Monday warned Oman that the U.S. will bomb the shit out of them if they interfere in the simmering conflict with Iran in the Hormuz Strait. Oman and Iran both border the strait and have been negotiating a deal about the future of the waterway. The comments came as a tentative 60-day ceasefire agreement between the U.S. and Iran is due to expire today. From Trent Greens, President Trump told Fox News that Iran should put the white flag or surrender. I have no time schedule, Trump added. I'm not in a hurry. The midterms have nothing to do with my thinking. President Trump confirmed there is a direct back channel with the IRGC officials. They're good poker players, but they're dying. President Trump also reacted to the ongoing talks between Iran and Oman regarding control of the strait. If Oman gets in the way, we'll bomb the shit out of them. Okay. Billboard in Tehran from the Wall Street Journal. Iran's secret plan to escalate the war. Iran spent the weeks after President Trump signed a major... Hold on. Oh, I have like an itch on my arm. Oh, that was like weird. I don't know. Iran spent the weeks after President Trump signed a mid-June memorandum of understanding with Tehran, preparing for a much larger conflict, according to the Iranian and Arab officials cited by the Wall Street Journal. Rather than viewing the agreement as a path towards de-escalation, Iran's hardline leaders reportedly saw it as an opportunity to regroup, strengthen the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, expand missile and drone production, and prepare for a wider war. Part of that strategy has included attacks on commercial ships in the Persian Gulf, the Gulf of Oman, and the Red Sea, moves designed to raise the economic costs for the U.S. and its allies. Officials say Iran's goal is to make any future U.S. or Israeli military campaign so painful that neither country would be willing to launch another major assault. Despite suffering extensive damage, Iran has also rebuilt key military infrastructure more quickly than many expected, and at the girls' school lies a giant mural of the Statue of Liberty, toppled and in rubble. Okay, guys. Whoopsie. Looks like we bombed the wrong people. Whoopsie. 9 hours ago, strikes continue since June, Wall Street Journal. Iran is rebuilding its infrastructure and restoring access to missile bases and more quickly than expected. It also has successfully targeted U.S. bases and retains enough firepower to threaten ships and Gulf energy infrastructure. Arab officials are bracing for continued fighting and an expanded disruption of energy supplies. When Trump signed the memorandum of understanding with Iran on June 17th at the French Palace of Versailles, it looked like the biggest hurdle would be convincing American critics that it wasn't overtly generous to Tehran. The deal promised sanctions waivers to let Iran sell its oil, access to billions of dollars in frozen cash, and the prospect of $300 billion fund to rebuild the country. Iran's main obligation was to open the Strait of Hormuz to shipping traffic and then negotiate in good faith on its nuclear program. When Iran started shooting at ships, the U.S. was guided through the strait 3 weeks later in early July. It caught the U.S. by surprise. The Revolutionary Guard used the calm created by the Memorandum of Understanding to lay the groundwork with allied militants around the region to step up the attacks. Kalamani, we took full. This is. They're saying that Kalamani said this. I don't know if this guy actually still exists. So they're saying Kalamani said this. All right. We took full advantage of the ceasefire period. Revolutionary Guard spokesman Bring Jin Mahan Maholsby said in an interview with the Guard-affiliated Tasman News Agency in July. We enhanced our capabilities, accelerated our missile production rate, and improved missile accuracy, says Kalamani. Behind the scenes, Supreme Leader Kalamani was positioning his forces for a more aggressive fight, lining up 7 key security leaders to run revamped military and repression institutions in reorganization that was revealed a week ago. Iran's 200,000 member Revolutionary Guard has now reportedly developed new plans to escalate tensions with the U.S. and its Gulf neighbors, including possible preemptive strikes, sabotage of internet and shipping infrastructure in the Persian Gulf, and efforts to stir unrest in countries with large Shia populations. It is leading Arab countries to be willing to strike deals with Iran that gave the Islamic regime more control of Hormuz to avoid confrontation. Kuwait has already said it intercepted 6 Revolutionary Guard members who allegedly attempted to land on a Kuwaiti island earlier this year. Gulf officials say Iran remains emboldened despite recent military setbacks, raising concerns that Tehran is trying to ensure any future U.S. intervention comes at a much greater cost. Billboards in Tehran of Donald Trump being choked out and dying are being placed across all digital billboards in Tehran. How much of this rhetoric versus reality is the big question. Wall Street Journal. People close to the Iran's top negotiators have warned peace talks could be just as interluded before more conflict. Mahid Mohammadi, a strategic advisor for chief Iranian negotiator Mohammad Gaddafi, described the current stalemate Tuesday as the calm before the storm. In an earlier social media post, Mohammadi said the drivers of continued conflict include a generational let me pull this back, guys. A generational project for blood vengeance for a killing of Supreme Leader Ali Kalamani, father of Kalamani, in an opening strike of the war. The Iranian nation still has much unfinished business with Trump, said Mohammadi, who is also a member of Iran's negotiating team. Iran is prepared for a great confrontation. I mean, if they want a great confrontation, they need to get better fucking names. I can't read their fucking names, bro. 9 hours ago, Politico, British Prime Minister exchanged messages with person posing as Trump's top advisor. UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham exchanged messages with someone impersonating White House Chief of Staff Susan Wiles, according to 4 officials who spoke with Politico. Burnham, who became Prime Minister on July 20th, reportedly communicated with individuals shortly after entering Downing Street before becoming suspicious that the contact was illegitimate. The incident initially raised concerns inside British government that Wales' phone may have been hacked again. Late last year, the White House and FBI investigation after senators, governors, and business executives received texts and phone calls from someone posing as Wiles. A White House official said the latest incident was unrelated to any compromise of her devices. From Staffmore, temporary plan for Caroline Leavitt departure. The White House is considering returning to a briefing plan enacted earlier this year once Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt formally leaves her role at the end of August, with a rotation of cabinet officials speaking at the podium. It's a temporary practice that satisfied Trump during the period that Leavitt was off for maternity leave, and White House officials told Selfmore that it's once again under discussion until a new permanent press secretary is named. It's unclear how long that will take. Leavitt has long been one of Trump's closest confidants, and the administration officials openly admit that she will not be easy for Trump to replace. Officials and Trump allies are already buzzing about potential successors, and Trump has discussed the topic with top aides. The president is in no rush to name a replacement and is truly undecided, the official said. God damn it. Prediction markets for Kelshi odds who will be Trump's next press secretary. Kelshi bettors are increasingly eyeing the race to replace Caroline Leavitt, with White House legal counselor Alana Habba, Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly, and CNN conservative commentator Scott Jennings emerging as the early favorites in the prediction market. Aftermath in Hawaii as Lala passes the island. More than 100 homes swept away and nearly 4 feet of rain in some areas. Netanyahu featuring Mamdani alongside Iranian supreme leaders and head of Hezbollah on campaign billboards as he argues that Israel voters shouldn't let Israel's enemies win by not re-electing him in October. Important to know, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is trailing in current polls but could remain in power after October's election even if his coalition wins significantly fewer seats than it holds today. Recent surveys show Netanyahu's current coalition winning up to 53 seats in Israel's 120-member parliament, short of the 61 seats needed to form a government. Former Israeli Defense Force Chief of Staff Gadi Escott has emerged as Netanyahu's leading challenger. His bloc is projected to get up to 57 seats based on polls, but also remains short of the threshold needed to form a government. Israeli Arab citizens, who make up roughly 20% of Israel's population, are represented by several political parties that are likely to get up 12 seats, but they have historically chosen not to join government coalitions. That means that neither Netanyahu nor Escott is guaranteed a path to 61 seats. If the political deadlock continues, Netanyahu could remain caretaker prime minister while Israel heads towards another election if the October election doesn't resolve anything. Ukraine tangled in fiber optic drone cables as modern warfare reshapes landscape. Trump repeats his idea to declare the Strait of Hormuz a U.S. territory. It is not clear how that would even work or be defended, since the U.S. military has been unable to get fully open for 6 months. Update on the Panettiere case from TMZ. Hayden Panettiere's autopsy shows no signs of trauma, according to the Greenville County, South Carolina coroner's office. The coroner released some details from the autopsy in a press release Monday, including that no signs of trauma were discovered that would have contributed to the death. The cause and manner of death remain pending further investigation and completion of the additional studies. First responders arrived at a residence in Greenville, South Carolina, after receiving a call about a woman in cardiac arrest on Sunday. They rushed to the scene and performed advanced cardiac life-saving support, but they weren't able to save her life. Hayden was pronounced dead at 2:32 p.m. 2 hours ago, CNN, a story we've been tracking, Fed halt controversial work on border security inside Big Bend National Park. Border security construction in Texas' Big Bend National Park has been temporarily halted after U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Rodney Scott ordered a pause pending a personal review. The decision follows reports that federal crews used heavy machinery to clear parts of the national park for patrol roads and vehicle barriers, sparking protests from residents, businesses, and local law enforcement officials. The broader Big Bend border project would stretch across the quarter of U.S.-Mexico border, despite accounting for only about 1% of border apprehensions because of the region's rugged terrain. Current plans call for 175 miles of steel border wall west of the park, 200 miles of patrol roads, 17 miles of vehicle barriers within the park area, and another 165 miles of barriers east of the park. The project is expected to cost them $7 billion. Even as legal border crossings are down more than 95% during Trump's second term via the Biden era, the Trump administration has vowed to eliminate gaps along the entire U.S.-Mexico border. That includes the remote Big Bend region, which rugged terrain, deep canyons have historically acted as natural barriers to illegal crossings. U.S. Customs and Border Protection recorded 3,096 migrant encounters in the sector. That includes Big Bend during the fiscal year 2025, according to 1.3% of 237,538 apprehensions reported on the border. Still 1.3%, my guy. And I think that's it. That's the news for the day, guys. Let's get into it. Daddy Trump talking to the Lifeguard, the 16-year-old who rescued a kid in California, live at the White House today. Here we go. Closed press.
Thank you very much, and this is a great story, and it's an honor to be with
It's Alex and he's ours and he's keeping him.
Williams, who is a 16-year-old lifeguard, California, the Santa Cruz area.
He's practicing his
And,
next
you know-
skills for his next trip to elementary school. Read to some kid Bush style.
And he was
Fuck, man.
a winner right from the time they first saw him.
Y'all fucking coming at me.
Training, a lot of work. And he saved this young gentleman who I had a long talk with. I said, would you have made it without him? And he said, not really, right? Not really, it was trouble. So you're gonna have a long and beautiful life.
Thank you.
And I just thought it was, we were
Dumbass
all
couldn't
watching,
swim.
everybody watched, and
Dumbass couldn't
got a lot of
swim.
publicity because of the ferocity of the waves. I've never seen waves. I mean, that was sort of violent. We were just discussing, and at certain times of the year, mostly like right around now, the waves get very rough in that area, and they're swirling, and if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to be tough, or if you're small, if you're young. So I just want to congratulate Nathaniel Ray for coming through an ordeal. That means you're going to have good luck in
What up,
life.
my guys?
It's called good luck. I want to say hello to your father, and came along for we invited them to the Oval Office and to the White House. After this, if you'd like, we're going to have them brought up to the Lincoln bedroom, where you see the room of Abraham Lincoln. That's pretty good, right? And also your sister. It's really nice. We have some of the people that Nathaniel and that worked so much on the whole process with Nathaniel, and were with Ryder right from the beginning. And I guess you learned from these people. They taught you how to do what you do so well, Ryder, right?
Yes, sir, they trained me.
And Nathaniel's very happy about that, Ryder, I have to tell you. Shane Williams, the father of Ryder. Thank you very much, Shane. You did a good job.
Thank you.
I see you're in one of my favorite uniforms.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
a big fan of that.
Thank you.
You couldn't be happier, right?
I couldn't be more proud.
When you saw that on television.
Yes.
It was incredible, actually.
Oh, I didn't
Shannon
realize he was a
Williams.
Coast Guard.
That's the mom. So you did a good job.
I thought it was just a lifeguard.
It's good genetics. When you look
Good
at
genetics.
it,
That's that.
really good.
put it?
Summit Ray, that's the father. Thanks again, Summit. Appreciate it. Layla Ray, sister of Nathaniel. Thank you, honey. Aaron Bonin, Santa Cruz lifeguard, who assisted Ryder, and he became quite famous also. That was a good assist. He helped you a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
He helped you a lot. Thank you very much. Great job. Fantastic. Alex Luskotoff, Chief of Law Enforcement and Emergencies.
Just before we get this like all rolling and everything, guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe. $5 super chats, add somebody's name to the poll of the day. $10 super chats, remove somebody's name for the poll of the day. Hit that join button like Two Gun Co. and become a member of the Comrade Club. Help support the channel, keep us independent and sponsor-free 7 days a week with the news, at least 3 hours a day. And someone in the chat, one of my mods said, reading's not good for the stream, bro. I think you guys just didn't like my Daddy Trump photo. I think you guys just didn't like Daddy Trump on the fucking, on the beach. Because usually I'm reading the news for the first 15 to 20 minutes of this and it's going up. But y'all just dropped out because you're like, Iranian news and Donald Trump on the beach? No, thank you. And I'm like, I thought it was a fun one.
Great job you guys are doing.
Thought it was close to his
Justin
hairline
McHenry,
today.
Assistant Chief of
What's
Aquatics
happening
and
here?
Lifeguard
He's
Operations.
meeting with a lifeguard from the Coast Guard, an 18-year-old that rescued a kid in California, like I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
Santa Cruz. Good job. Were you responsible for the training?
Yes, I help oversee and
That's
guide the
good.
training for our lifeguard program.
And for a lot of the lifeguards, right?
We train about 200 lifeguards a year,
Great. At that age, too.
starting at 16.
Starting at 16. That's a lot. I read that that's a lot to do for a 16-year-old. That's not easy.
It's a huge responsibility, and it requires a lot of integrity and resilience. And I think this particular rescue that Ryder performed really exemplifies what we're looking for in a state park life.
And you couldn't let go for an instant. If you let go for 1 instant, it'd be very hard to find, right?
Oh, absolutely. In those conditions, losing a victim would be disastrous.
Yeah, really amazing. You have no idea the respect. Joel, where's Joel? State Park Superintendent, Lifeguard, Santa Cruz. Joel, thank you very
Papa's
much.
getting tired.
That's
Don't worry,
he'll
he'll start yelling at the media soon.
Right?
I already saw a clip of it.
Good job, Joel. And Mike McAnamy, State Park Superintendent, Santa Cruz. Thank you very much.
Bro reads
we're-
last names like
we're
I do.
honored to have all of you. And again, what you did was incredible, and everybody saw it. And you'd watch it over and over. I know when I first saw it, I said, roll that back. I want to see that again. Is that really happening? And both of you people have to be very proud. The whole group is proud. And your father is the happiest man in the
State
world.
Parks win, yeah.
Because I asked him a question. I said, so if that didn't happen, your life would be ruined. And you said, it would be a whole different life, right?
The fucking kid's like, I would have been dead. I didn't know how to swim. Would have been a whole different life if he didn't come and rescue you. You would have been dead. You would have drowned.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
No question. It's
Yeah.
incredible what Ryder did. I'm just beyond grateful to him and Aaron and the rest of the team and even the Good Samaritans that were there. I mean, it's just such a privilege to be sitting next to him today.
Yeah.
Be able to celebrate his birthday tomorrow.
And I'll bet you'll stay a little bit related to this group of people. Because
Absolutely.
you realize what a fantastic job they did.
We're a great
Probably, it's interesting because they're saying that you have in that area so many different saves. You're saying that night you'd help somebody out. Maybe not to that extent, but you help somebody out. But maybe lifeguards don't get the credit they deserve. This really showed how important it is. And
Swimming lessons first priority.
certain
Yeah,
areas
bro.
of the country, you could say, are just very susceptible to people getting in trouble, right? And was this one of the worst on the state, on that entire coast? I mean, do you have other areas? Because that looks like a very dangerous place, the way
Yeah.
those waves, on a beautiful day, right?
The characteristics on that given day made it a little more difficult. It was a warm day, so there's lots of folks on the beach recreating, and then combine it with that large surf and the strong currents that we had in the area made it treacherous. But California's coastline is very diverse, and we have very remote and rugged sections of coastline that our lifeguards work on every day.
Do you have areas where you don't have lifeguards that are very dangerous and people innocently go swimming and they don't have a chance, probably, right?
There, yeah,
You don't have a
certainly are
chance.
unguarded areas within the state and around the nation, and people getting in without the knowledge or ability to recreate in those waters can be extremely dangerous.
Yeah, it's not
And
just
you have a
swimming.
lot
You
of
gotta
that.
really learn.
Is this one of the more dangerous areas, the swirl?
I would say it's during the summer months. It's one of our more dangerous summer beaches. Yes.
Yeah, it looked amazing, and it didn't stop. The water came in and just keep coming. It was and it looked like you were almost on shore, but you weren't really on shore.
It's deceptive.
It was a fantastic thing. Do you have any questions?
Congratulations on being honored here, Mr.
Let's keep the questions for them just for this, and then we can ask a couple later. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. So thank you for doing this. First
Good,
of all.
sure.
What do you hope young Americans in our country take away from this incredible young man's
That's a
story?
great question. I mean, look, they're going to look up to Ryder. They're going to look up to Nathaniel, the way Nathaniel handled it. He was cool considering the problems I was watching. You were very cool. And
Very cool.
they're going to gain
Whoa,
respect.
President called him cool?
I think, very importantly, they're going to gain respect for what these people do, having to do with lifeguards and having to do with
Yeah,
safety.
especially fucking lifeguard, y'all.
This was an unbelievable experience. Anybody watching, it's not my world, but I respect that world. I always had, but never maybe so much as I do now. So I thought you bring, to your profession, to what you.
Why were all the reporters just women there? Those are the local reporters from California that he brought in for this specific thing. Because if you notice, the CNN and MSNBC people, like the regular people that are, because it was a closed press event. That's why we didn't go live with it earlier. If it's an open press event, everyone's allowed in, and then that means that I know on my schedule that Trump is going to go live, and then we go live with him. This was a closed event. We knew that this was going to happen at noon, but we knew that only special press was going to be allowed in, and that there might be a live feed from somebody like Fox News, but it was selective, and not Associated Press, not C-SPAN, not like the American public getting to see it. So what he did here with the structure of the media, the women that you see, all those women are actually local media in LA or in the area of California that this happened at. And then all of the others are closed press, meaning just CNN, just Fox News, just News Nation, only a few select major press are allowed in. Probably because he's willing to answer questions about Iran and whatever afterwards. I'm setting that up for you guys because watch what happens with the press as we continue.
And what you do so well, you brought tremendous grace and experience, really tremendous grace, tremendous a feeling that it's so amazing to see this happen, to see it before your eyes. And I don't think any other, I've seen surfs, I've seen rescues before.
Thank you with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. Welcome to the Mod Club. Don't abuse it or you'll lose it. Remember, mods, 5-minute timeout is your power. Use it as you will. If you're fighting with somebody, you can time them out up to 5 minutes with no issues, But don't time them out for more than 24 hours or for the 24 hours unless they're doing one of 3 fundamental rule breaks: spamming, billboarding, or death threats. Other than that, keep the conversation free speech and let's keep it going. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Your profession. And
appreciate you with the super chat, my guy.
Respect you even more. So I just thought it was really a very worthwhile event to have it at the Oval Office. So congratulations.
I actually have a
If you don't
question.
mind, can I have a question for the young gentleman?
Go ahead, sure.
So first of all, a lot of people are very
Yeah, see, so when he's looking over there, he's looking at the local press of California. The invited local press, and it's a closed event, remember. So yeah, and it, like Michael says here, so the fake news hasn't come up yet. Exactly. Because the fake news will come up when he starts looking towards us, because that's where the major MSMs are. But again, it's a closed press event, so only the press that was allowed in, that was invited into this meeting. Meaning he invited in the local press, and then he invited in specific major media press. And watch what the major media press does with that opportunity.
inspired by what
Because they're about to fucking let you know.
your mind at those dangerous moments.
These guys are just local people. They're fucking regular Joes.
In those dangerous moments that we have, we always try to fall back on our training. We are trained so well by many to handle that situation as best we can. So I really was thinking about how to get the boy out of the water as fast as I can. And for shaping my future, I want to be a firefighter in the future. Hopefully go through paramedic school. And
He's off to a good start. Good recommendations. You may have some good recommendations. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's like, I'll go. He's like, give me the recommendation, my guy. Trump's like, I'm about to make you fucking in charge of every wildfire in all of California at 18. I'm about to give it to you all. You want to be a firefighter? Here you go.
Sorry.
You're the next governor of California.
For all of us, I think, and especially you give us hope for your generation. And along those lines, do you have a message for your generation about service and what you're doing?
I hope that everybody can take away from this and try to help more.
Trey Bryant says, Donald for the third term. Trey Bryant with the $5 super chat to switch up our poll of the day, guys. We're going to keep the audio rolling on this, but we're going to be eliminating AOC. And Trey Bryant just added Donald Trump to the mix in our poll of the day. Remember, $5 super chat. You can add anybody to the poll of the day. $10 super chat. Remove anybody's name from the poll of the day. Appreciate you all stopping by, keeping the channel independent and sponsor free.
People try to look out for everybody around you, and
let's get his answer first
try to
before
help
we go
everybody
out. I'll get you in a second, Trey Bryant.
What's the average age of a lifeguard in your area?
Okay, here we go.
I'd say a lot of this last year, a lot of them were 16 to 17 years old.
And you have some that make it a profession, right?
One second.
A lot.
Just switching the
So
poll.
do you have 35, 40, 45-year-old? That's
sir.
great. And they lead a beautiful life on the surf, right?
Yes, sir.
And they would rather do nothing else, right? That's very good. I think it's great.
Mr. President, on a different topic.
Well,
Yesterday,
wait,
Donald-
let's finish on this topic. This is very exciting to me. Now, you know, it's so exciting to see something like this happen.
Wait, I wanna get this-
He's a real hero. You know, when you see that, I don't know if I'd do it. I wouldn't probably.
I wouldn't
You're
probably.
lucky I wasn't. You're lucky I wasn't on service that day. I don't know. No, he's a real hero. It's an
Oh my God. Okay, wait. Let me go the audio on that.
amazing
Hold on, let's
thing.
get the poll. of
And
the day
he's a
going.
real
One
lucky
second, guys.
guy too. God was watching you, right? Yeah. Great. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, I have a question about Iran, but I would like to ask you something about the rescue as well. Following this, there's been a push in Congress to officially affirm that open water lifeguards should be recognized as first responders. That would apparently really open up access to benefits, more federal programs. Would you support that?
Well, I think they have gone a long way to get that done. You know, it's something most people don't talk about. We have a lot of other things we talk about. And first time I've ever heard the question.
Poll
but
starts now.
This is something that's been going on, I guess. Is that right? I'd like to put my weight behind it. So let's take a look at it. Very important.
And
Yeah,
on
I like the idea. Why do you ask that question? I mean, is this something that's been discussed very
members
much?
of Congress have been talking about it in the wake of this.
Well, I think in the wake of what happened here, there's a possibility something like that would happen.
And Mr. President, your memorandum of understanding with Iran expires today. Are you any closer to reaching a
See, that's a smart local news reporter. So this is one of the local ones that was invited into the White House, and she's doing what a national media correspondent does and do the double question. I'll ask you a question about the thing, but I also want to ask you about Iran. And he's going to probably let her do it because she's a local reporter from California. She's not necessarily part of the MSM. But he's said it about 3 times already. I want to talk about this before we talk about that.
final deal on ending Iran's nuclear
Let's
program
finish up.
than you were 60 days ago?
Let's finish up with Ryder, and then when we're done, we'll...
Yeah, again, like, it's like talking to children. Hey, guys, we're talking about this. Then we'll talk about that.
answer a couple of those questions. Yeah?
Thank you, Mr. President, again.
But he's still being respectful because, again, it's a local reporter. It's not what's coming.
For the young men and for those who trained them here, so as a parent, I'm very concerned when I see moments like those. What's your message to parents across the country who want to really improve their children's safety, especially when they're younger like this?
Well, I think you have to be going to the right beach, number one, and I think you have to have lifeguards.
Go to the right beach.
Right? Because you could go to that water. It looked so beautiful the day. It was such a beautiful day, everything nice. The water didn't look that bad, and then all of a sudden you see these violent
It's very
waves
true.
come in.
Well, also, people need to understand that, like, when I moved to Florida, for the first time I went on an open boat in the ocean, like a regular boat, like to go snorkeling. And both me and my fiance at the time were vomiting profusely, like getting really sick. Like, it was crazy. We felt insane. Open water is completely different than any lake, any river, any fucking swimming pool. You can say you can swim, but when you get into the ocean swims you. And it's a completely different thing.
That's what amazed me so much. I studied it. I said, this is incredible. I've never seen that kind of roughness in water. I've seen unbelievably I've seen tragic things happen, but I've never seen water that looks so calm, and then every 15 seconds, the violence comes back in. I think really you probably have areas, I'll bet you have areas that you think should have, as you call them, guards, that don't have. Can you imagine having more guards along the coast, parts of the coast, that aren't guarded where people die?
Yes, certainly. The National Water Safety Action Plan and the California State Action Plan both call for more supervision. And by supervision,
do we lose a lot of people due to lack of, covering an area?
It can be challenging in some of those spots because of the economy to live there. It's expensive. It's a coastal beach community, and there's $1 million homes on the beach, and our lifeguards are making a little more than minimum wage, but it can be challenging to live in those spaces, so it's hard to retain employees in those areas.
Oh.
As the life.
Oh, wow. That's a good fucking response. Which is like, if you want to put lifeguards all the way up and down the coast, you would have to almost federalize it and make it a higher paid position, because you can't be some 15-year-old getting paid $15 an hour, but living on in wine country. How in the fuck could you survive? You wouldn't be able to actually do that.
Guards grow older and they want to make that a profession, which is a noble profession. They make much higher salaries, right?
Yeah. Yes. If they become
they make a good living.
If they become a full-time lifeguard, which in our department requires you to become a peace officer.
I see. Okay. Well, that helps for that other question.
It does. That's a livable wage, and they can become members of the community and live where they're working, and give back.
So will you be doing it? You help so much with Ryder. Will you be doing it as a profession, or will you be doing other things later?
So I'm actually a full-time firefighter paramedic with a fire department in California, and I've stayed on the books with state parks because I owe this program a lot, and it's done a lot for me.
Oh, that's good.
I love being here.
See, he's exposing it, though. He's going, all these people were basically volunteering. It's basically like you went to your fucking internship, and your internship gave you a really good job at a fire department, so you'll still keep going back to your internship. Like, well, something should change. Something should change on that.
And train people like Ryder, so I plan on staying around for a long time.
That's great. Good job. That's fantastic. Yeah, please.
Are you policy question, Mr. President?
Go ahead.
There's a lot of debate right now about these license plate scanners that are going up across the country. They're called flock cameras.
Oh my God! Did she just another local too? The
police might misuse them. Have you heard of them?
Yep.
Or what's your stance?
Well, it's being studied right now. You have pros and cons, right? It's being studied right now. We'll have an answer sort of as to our views on it over the next couple of weeks.
Mr. President.
Bro's been watching Fox News like, I don't know what to do. Everybody hates these fucking data centers, and everybody hates flock cameras, and I don't know what to do. This is like the capitalist of all capitalists, and he's going to have to, like, you're going to lose your entire base if you stand on flock cameras. You can't stand on flock cameras. We're going to investigate.
What is your response, John Alsop?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No.
Going with the Pee Wee Herman here. Okay, remember, John Ossoff is in our poll. John Ossoff currently losing to Gavin Newsom, but John Ossoff paid for $77 million from AIPAC through dark Jewish money to be the first Jewish Democratic president of the United States. So they're going to keep pushing this John Ossoff person and saying AOC is a communist. It's the fucking Jewish people, guys. It's Israel. Like, the man took $77 million from AIPAC for his re-election.
Would much rather.
And all he does is condemn neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes all day long. I'm a neo-Nazi. Neo-Nazi. Okay. Fucking John Ossoff paid for by the Jew.
Do other things. Is
he Jewish? I think he might be
a facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of. You can look at this. This room was a disgraceful situation in the Oval Office, and it was let go. The whole building, the White House, was let go. The exteriors were falling apart. The columns were falling apart. The whole place was a mess. In addition, they've been trying to get a ballroom for the last 150 years. And when I said I was going to build a ballroom, the military asked if they could see me. and they say, sir, we have an opportunity to go down deep into the ground and build a military facility to go to the White House and to go with all of Washington, D.C., which would be so valuable. And then they came up with the drone port on top.
Ossoff's
which would be
literally
major
just a
drone
fucking
port to protect the
super
White
PAC
House and
clown.
all of D.C.
Like, you gotta
and
be
all
real
of those
dumb.
things added up. And
You gotta be real dumb to have the same exact political party that's saying, hey, vote for the first Muslim senator ever. And then the same exact party is telling you in Georgia, condemn neo-Nazis and vote for this guy. He's against neo-Nazis. Well, okay. Where did your money come from, John Ossoff? If we're done with AIPAC, then we're done with AIPAC on the Democratic side. What are we fucking still doing here on this?
became much more than just
John
a ballroom.
Ossoff getting pushed
And I
out
said
by
to
big
myself,
money
wow, what an
constantly.
opportunity. I mean, if I was just going to build the ballroom, I could have had it built very quickly because I build very well and very quickly. We went 5 stories down into the ground. We did a lot of tremendous things for the military, things that they could never get. They said this is an opportunity that we have because you're building the ballroom, that if you would be willing to spend more time, we would love to be able. We've been trying to do this at the White House for many, many years, and they've been trying to have a ballroom at the White House for many, many years. Now, what happened is we used to use tents, and the tents are usually made of either a plastic material, or canvas, and they wouldn't stop a .22 caliber. They wouldn't stop anything in terms of safety. It'd be very dangerous. And they haven't used a tent for years. They haven't had any big, like we have President Xi coming on September 24th or so. I think it's September 24th. And we'd love to have 2,000 people coming to dinner and celebrating a nice evening, et cetera, but we only have a room that's going to hold 89 people, and 89 people is not appropriate. So maybe more importantly, it's totally secure with bulletproof windows, bulletproof sides.
I would say, he needs to stop pitching this in general, and he needs to start doing what he's doing with the Save America Act with this. He needs to go, you know what? The court's right. I'm not allowed to build this building anymore. There's a giant fucking hole in the ground in the middle of D.C. When Congress wants to pass a bill that isn't reconciliation, we'll be able to fix the giant hole in the side of the White House. Not my fault. Judges said I can't do it, and now Congress has to pass a bill. When Congress passes a bill, then we'll get rid of the giant fucking gaping hole in the middle of the White House, because I'm not allowed to continue construction because of bureaucracy. So, again, I just want to reiterate that the 520 fucks that are on vacation right now, instead of sitting here talking to an 18-year-old lifeguard, those 520 fucks that are sitting there fucking telling you need to vote for them again, well, once all those people come back and do their job just one time, and it would be the first time in 4 years, because the last time was the CHIPS Act. So hopefully they can come back and they can tell me I can stop the giant fucking hole that's in the middle of the White House. But until Congress comes back and does their job of passing a bill, then I guess America deserves the giant fucking hole in the middle of the White House. That's what I would do if I was him. I'd go, they want me to do it this way? We'll do it this way. Hey, Congress, do you like the giant fucking hole in the middle of the White House? Do you want to fucking fix it? Until Congress does something, we're going to just keep the fucking giant hole in the middle of the wall for everyone to remember. Should do the same thing with the reflecting pool. Once Congress passes a bill, we'll fix the reflecting pool. Just fucking do it with all of it. You know what? Fuck it. Can't do any private donations anymore. You're right. The judges are right. When Congress passes any bill for it, then we'll fix it. Until then, you get a swamp, you get a giant fucking hole in the side of the White House, and it's all because Congress can't fucking pass a bill. There you go. We're going to do it the right way, like Joe Biden. As Hunter said, you should, don't abuse your power in the executive. Listen to the executive. Just sit there and wait for the legislator to fucking do something. Okay.
So
okay.
At the top of the line, and we need it, and especially with what's happened, unfortunately, to the world, you could say. Yeah.
So you said on Oman this morning you said you would bomb the S out of...
Who censored Primal? Stop fucking censoring. Anybody that has a mod access can censor people up to 5 minutes. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off.
Oman.
Those are the rules. 3 bans, though. No 24-hour timeouts unless you are spamming, billboarding, or death threats. Other than that, You can put up to a 5-minute timeout if somebody's being a retard. That's totally
Would you say
fine.
out of patience with Oman, a strategic
No,
partner?
I don't think they behave very well, but we'd handle them very easily, just like we do other things.
Totally agree. Make Congress do something. Exactly.
Actually, two questions. There was a report by Center Square that nearly 24 Democratic attorney generals, months before your reelection, were basically planning already lawsuits against you, and wanted to see what your comment is on that. Second question.
Well, I heard about that. I'm not surprised because they've weaponized this country like never before. The Democrats, or the Democrats as I call them, they've weaponized the country like nobody's ever seen anything like it. When you see the reports that are coming out
Primal's
now,
not even timed out.
that
So.
you would have never seen if I had not won the election in a landslide. But you would have never seen it if I didn't win the election. But the reports that you see coming out now and the kind of illegal activity that they used on the 2020 election and beyond is earth-shattering. These are very dishonest people. So,
Primal, welcome to the Mod Club. Appreciate you stopping by. Don't abuse it or you lose it.
This is on D.C. You have mentioned before, if the Democrats get in again, that they may eliminate the filibuster next time and make D.C. a state. A while back, Senator Mike Lee had floated an idea.
It wouldn't be a state. It wouldn't be. I mean, if we're talking about us, we have, as you know, a very radically left person elected mayor, who I haven't met. I'm sure she's very nice, but very, very, very radical left. And we would have to federalize D.C. You know, we've made D.C. great. When I got here, it was a very dangerous capital. I would have said to Ryder, don't come. It's too dangerous. Now I can say you can walk down the street. You can grab Nathaniel and all your friends. You can walk in. You're going to be very safe. But if you were here a year and a half ago, the numbers were...
See, but that's what Trump's missing. It's like he should be like going, it's very safe, except for that swamp and except for that giant hole in the White House lawn. Until Congress passes a bill for it, I'm not allowed to do anything. No more construction. I know. I'm listening to the rules now. Everything's cleaned up, but there's a giant fucking hole in the side of the White House. Hopefully Congress can do something. That's what I would be doing.
The crime stats,
what are we fucking doing?
Murders,
Don't make it your issue. Make it theirs.
Drug dealing, everything was. We have one of the safest. We've taken it from one of the most unsafe cities in the country to as safe a city as there is. Amazing what's happened to Washington, and it's our capital. We have to have a safe capital. And we did it through a lot of different reasons, but we also put the National Guard here. But in addition to that, the cleanliness, the new grass, the graffiti's all gone. We fixed up 82 monuments, fountains, and other things. The places, and when you see it in 6 months from now, it's going to be even beyond that. We're proud of our capital. I think these things are important. Whether you build, whether you do something to fix the White House where, you know, now they've never had a real estate developer, a good one, a real good one here before. They might not ever have one again. But, you know, fixing up our great capital is a very important thing. I think it's very important psychologically. It's very important from the standpoint of people being able to come to the country and not get murdered in the capital.
Communication team is horrible.
Here. We
exactly.
had one of the worst, one of the most unsafe cities in the country. Now we have one of the safest. Just to finish,
Come on,
we
I'd
have,
like to thank all the people that
we
got
had a
here
real
today.
problem with restaurants. Nobody wanted to have restaurants, entrepreneurs, restaurant entrepreneurs. Now you can't get space. Every restaurant is packed. The place is booming. People aren't going to get mugged and raped and beat to hell and shot and killed in
Damn,
Washington, D.C. One of the safest places. Crime is down 84%. And that, I did that in a short period of time. It's also down in Memphis, where we went specifically, and it's also down in New Orleans. I was asked by the governor, could I do something, because they were having Mardi Gras. It was very bad. And they had the best Mardi Gras they've ever had, the safest Mardi Gras that they've ever had. And we could do it in New York, we could do it in California, we could do it in Chicago if we were asked to do it. But the crime stats in the whole country, we have down 15, 16, 70%, a record.
Why hasn't Kim Jong-un responded to your request to have a conversation?
How do you know he hasn't responded?
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, yes. Motherfucker. How do you know Kim Jong-un hasn't responded? Just to catch you guys up, Donald Trump said that he's no longer going to do joint military exercises with South Korea, which we've been doing for almost 80 years, but we've been paying for them. They were supposed to do a training, or they're still going to do a training in August that helps with drone activity. But basically Trump said, I don't want to give any more money to South Korea because South Korea wouldn't help us with the IRGC. And if they don't want to help us with the IRGC, I don't see North Korea as an actual problem because under Trump, Kim Jong-un has been great. The reporter asks, blah, 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 Kim Jong-un's response, and he immediately goes, how do you know he didn't respond? And then he's like, he responded. That's it. That's all you need.
And very positive. Well, just so you understand.
Of course he's positive on that one. Talking about him.
South Korea has been protected by us
Here we
for
go.
many, many years. And during my first term, they agreed to...
Again, like if you are free Palestine, I think you're a complete fucking hypocrite if you're worried about us pulling out of South Korea, if you're worried about us pulling out of Taiwan. It is none of our business. So if you're over here being like, free Palestine, but then you're like, I can't believe they're pulling out of South Korea. You don't understand. The reason that you have such a fucking slave population on the north side is because of the sanctions that have happened to them. So if you're a socialist, if you believe Cuba should be free, then you should have no problem starting this little experiment with South Korea. And I think that's what he's kind of getting at. He's kind of getting at like self-isolation, which is exactly what people wanted him to do when they reelected him, which is like worry about us and don't worry about others. And he's seeing how Israel is inherently fucking us over and over again and getting themselves involved and bombing Lebanon while he's on a fucking thing trying to make a negotiation with Iran. They're literally bombing Lebanon at the same exact time, causing problems for the United States. Other fucking countries are supposed to be helping us. We're giving them money for 80 years to defend against North Korea that isn't a problem for us. He's basically using the North Korea as an experiment. All right, if I pull back on South Korea, are they still going to be able to defend their borders? Are there going to be more people being able to travel to North Korea? Is there going to be less sanctions so that North Koreans can actually not starve and they can eat? I don't care that the same person's in charge as long as they live a better life. And if he starts it there and it actually works, which is the whole Hassan Piker Cuba bullshit thing, I don't know that it will work, but I think South Korea, North Korea is a beautiful place to start it, because then the second one is essentially you already told China after World War II that you would give back Taiwan. But now we're keeping Taiwan because of the chip manufacturing. That's the only reason we even keep Taiwan. So let Taiwan defend itself. Let South Korea defend itself. And if they are okay, and the release of sanctions and the release of U.S. troops and infantry literally help the communist nations feed their people through less sanctions, then you can do the same thing for Palestine. You can do the same thing for Lebanon. You can do the same thing for Syria. But you have to start that off in a place of stability. You can do that same thing for Cuba as well. But you have to start it off in a place of stability. And I think out of all of the hot button areas to start it with, North Korea, South Korea is great. Because they literally drew a line in the sand for no fucking reason because they couldn't finish the war. Let them fight themselves. China's not going to do the North Korea, and we're not going to fund the South Korea. We're just going to fucking let them do their thing on their little fucking island. Most of them call themselves Koreans. So I think if they don't have Chinese and American influence, they might go back to just being Koreans.
We weren't they? And I asked them to do that at my request. I
might even topple Kim Jong-un.
Happy about it, but they agreed. I asked for $10 billion, and they were very unhappy. But we agreed for a short term there would be $3 billion, and next year it would go up, and the next year it would go up, so they start paying for their protection. When the election was rigged and I ended up watching for 4 years and then coming back, I watched Biden rescind that $3 billion here for whatever reason. When I called recently the president of South Korea, who I like, I think he's very nice actually, but I called him, I said, would you like to give us a little hand? We don't need help.
We got Coach Sider here says, LOL, China will back off. And if they don't, oh no, We lose fucking what? Toyota and Hyundai? Oh no, we have to fucking start making more Ford and Teslas? Oh no. Less Korean fucking rapes in the street on Halloween night? Oh no, we won't have a 4th season of Squid Games? The fuck are they giving us?
With Iran. But if you'd like, give us a hand with Iran. He said, no thanks. And I said, wait a minute, we have 39,000 soldiers over there.
Lose nothing,
Guarding
exactly.
you from Kim Jong-un, your next door
I
neighbor.
don't fucking care about protecting somebody
And
else's
you're not gonna
border
help us
across the
on
world.
A very easy military operation in Iran? That's strange. No, we'd rather not.
China believes that the U.S. is a world power is over and they want to be the world power. Great. Let them be the world power on their access point. They already have they already have Pakistan and India under their belt, as well as North Korea and Russia. They have border security and land protection for miles. We're going to sit here and go, oh, actually, we're going to take half of North Korea, and we're going to, we're going to take this little island of Taiwan, and we're going to fucking give a bunch of yen to Japan and sink our own economy. What the fuck are we doing? Stop it.
Why are we involved in helping you? So, and I want to help them, but when you ask somebody, would you like to give us a hand, and they say no thanks.
No, right.
And then we're guarding them from a country and paying ourselves it's costing us billions and billions of dollars to protect not only them, but other countries. Look at NATO. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars protecting Europe from Russia. Hundreds of billions, mostly from Russia, but from other things too. And then they say, well, they don't want to get involved with getting,
bro. You're right.
guarding the Strait, where they get most of their oil. They get 50% of their oil, and they don't want to get involved. Why are we doing it? So all I want is fairness. And South Korea, I get along with them very well, but they were paying $3 billion a year, and then they convinced Biden that I was probably a bad person, and they shouldn't, and he immediately rescinded that order. So we were getting paid. We would have been getting paid a lot more, but we can't go around and protect all of these countries, especially when they're not there to help us.
Big win, Trump. Big win, isolationism. Isn't this what we want? That's America first.
Are you any closer today to reaching a final deal to end Iran's nuclear program?
Well, they want to make a deal, but they're not going to make the kind of a deal that I feel is necessary. Look, we're in there for one reason. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You understand that? Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon. And right now, them building one after what we did previously.
And there's no conspiracy theory here, guys. Again, check the fucking logs. Bro's been saying this since 2015. Bro's been saying the same exact thing since before he became president the first time.
Obviously, with the B-2 bombers, going to be a long time behalf. But Iran cannot have. It's very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
How do you respond to folks who say that you are prioritizing the interests of adversaries in North Korea over our longtime partners by scaling back the military exercises?
No, I'm making it much safer. You see, I'm actually making it much safer. Kim Jong-un has always treated me with great respect. And we met on numerous occasions, actually, 2 primary occasions, spoken and spent time. I understand him. He understands me. You're doing war games. I get along with him. He didn't like Biden. He didn't like Obama. He didn't like anybody. But I get along with him very well. No, what I'm doing is making things safer. Just the opposite. Quiet. You're very disrespectful.
There we go. See, yep. See how he's looking? I told you guys this was. I said the local media is over on the left side of him. That's why when he turns his head, he's looking over there. Now he's like, I'm sick of you fucking chirping up over and over again. This was a closed press briefing. The mainstream media was invited in. They didn't need to be invited in. They pretty much were invited in for cameras. That's why mainstream was invited in, was for cameras. And here's this fucking CNN reporter, and she just can't shut the fuck up. She can't let the locals in LA get their fucking mitt.
Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with?
I'm with CNN.
Fake news.
I
You're
just wanted
fake
to follow
news.
up on this out.
You're a loud,
Yeah.
you're a loud, boisterous person.
See,
You're fake
and then she's
news.
back over in the corner.
Be quiet.
No.
Be quiet.
Be quiet.
You're a fake reporter.
Oh my God.
Report fake news. Go ahead.
Mr. President, is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
going to feel
that
real
was
embarrassed when she
that was
gets
a
out of there.
CNN fake report. The Lincoln has been out there
CNN
for
is
a
gay.
period of time. Good period of time. But over the years, we've had them out there much longer. I was at a group meeting, and an admiral came up to see me over the weekend. And it was at a big group, and he happened to be an admiral retired. He said, I've been on ships that are out there much longer than that, sir. And I know people on the Lincoln, they say it's beautifully maintained and beautifully taken care of. And other people went out and they found out to be true. It was fake news reporting from CNN.
It's actually from the Wall Street Journal,
A
but
senior intelligence official with the CCP just bought a historical building overlooking the White House. Have you heard about this?
whoa.
No, I haven't heard of this.
Mr. President.
Whoa.
Mr. President, yes, Mr. President.
Yeah, go ahead. Behind you, please.
The British Prime Minister recently reportedly sent text to someone impersonating Susie Wiles. Are you concerned about his judgment or the state of communications between the two countries?
No, but who happened? What happened? They sent text?
Apparently the Prime Minister sent text to somebody impersonating Susie Wiles. And it was,
No, I'm sure that he had a miscommunication.
Mr. President.
He's the Prime Minister. You know, I spoke to him. We had a good conversation, a couple of them. We had a good conversation. One of the things he is going to do, I think he's going to open up the North Sea. That'll make UK pretty rich, I'll tell you. If he opened up the North Sea, now he's got an immigration problem and he has an energy problem. He would have solved one of his problems. That would be a big thing. That would make UK rich. If you open up the North Sea, it's one of the great finds anywhere in the world. And if they would open up the North Sea, UK would be rich again.
Mr. President, yes, Mr. President, have the people
Don't you find them nice? Huh?
Don't you find them nice? Exactly. It's so true. Which is like, these are the local reporters from California. And you're like, don't you find them nice? Versus the other three vicious reporters that were allowed in the building only because they wanted to give cameras to this lifeguard situation, and they're literally interrupting and being awful. There's no fucking defense for the way that CNN lady was acting. And that's why they're all laughing and kind of smiling. They're like, oh, wow, how awkward. Double tap, hit that like button, guys. Hit subscribe. $5 super chat. Add anybody's name to the poll of the day. $10 super chat. Remove anybody's name from the poll of the day. Become a member. Hit that join button. Become a comrade. Help support the channel 7 days a week, at least 3 hours a day. Live with the news, both the left and the right, making fun of everyone. Let's go.
Nice people, right? Look at him. He's saying, where do people like this come from? Your son is saying, where do people like this come from? Go ahead.
The people who are opposing,
Especially her.
The people who are opposing
Jesus Christ, he won't let it go.
Have they offered any sort of solution or sort of compromise, or are they just saying there should be a hold?
The people that are opposing the ballroom are people that, in my opinion, are very disloyal to our country. Very.
Okay, but again, like he just wants the ballroom. He's forgetting about the political strategy. Okay, you're right. The judges said I can't do anything with the ballroom. There's a giant fucking hole in the side of the White House. Until Congress passes a bill, I'm not allowed to fix the giant hole in the side of the White House. Ask Congress about it. Not really my problem. The judges have spoken, and Congress is supposed to approve me fixing the giant fucking hole in the side of the White House. So until they want to fix the giant fucking hole in the side of the White House, I guess we're all fucked. That's what I would say.
Very disloyal to our country.
He just wants his fucking ballroom, though. Daddy just wants his ballroom too bad.
Under budget. It's going to be the most beautiful ballroom of its kind.
This could have been a prime example of how Congress is incapable of doing anything. And you could have used it to lobby that. But instead, he just wants to finish his ballroom. Guys, just let him finish. Let Daddy Trump finish his ballroom.
I was in China. We went to the Great Hall of China. It was this big, beautiful building. And we don't have anything like that. And we have to have that.
The
It's
room
very
is starting to
important.
spin from all the
We also are
gates.
getting tremendous military protection, drone protection. The building is drone-proof. It's missile-proof as much as something can be missile-proof. It's totally bulletproof. Any bullet, nothing can go through the windows. We have, all top-of-the-line stuff. It's very safe. And the one thing, it's not for me, because I'm going to be here a very short period of time when it's finished. If it finishes right on time, on budget, on time, I'll be there for 4, 5, 6 months. This is for future presidents. This isn't for me. This is for future presidents. And it's a gift.
He just can't get out of the pitch mode. He just really wants this and can't get out of the pitch mode. Guys, he needs to say, I think that they should pass the Save America Act to make sure that we have good elections. I think that they should not even get rid of the filibuster. Just keep the filibuster, and I think the Democrats should do something as well. And I think the first thing should probably be fixing the giant fucking hole in the side of the White House. But starting tomorrow, we're going to have a live camera from whitehouse.gov of the giant gaping fucking hole in the side of the building that we're not allowed to fix or complete or do anything with because the judges said we have to wait for Congress to do something. We'll put a ticker up for every minute and every second that Congress doesn't do anything, and you guys can watch live, just like the debt collecting calendar. You can watch live and see how long it takes Congress to get back from vacation, get back from the midterms, pass a fucking bill to get the giant fucking hole out of the side of the White House lawn.
We're making a gift.
That's what I would do. Come on. Make it.
Millions of dollars
It's
to
a
build
political
wall.
maneuver.
And it's a gift from great patriots of this country. From, as an example, I'll give you names. I released some of the names. In fact, I wanted to put them out today, but we got a little busy. And this was, frankly, being with this group of people was very important to me. But we'll be putting them out, some of the people that contributed. But this is a gift to the United States of America. No taxpayer money is necessary. And you can have the finest ballroom anywhere.
Okay, Congress has bigger issues than a ducking ballroom. Okay, again, they have done nothing. They pass one reconciliation bill a year to literally pay themselves. That's it. That's all they ever do. That's all that the Senate ever does. Now this person in the chat is like, they have better things to do. If they have better things to do, then why did 3 judges, federal judges in D.C., say, actually, Donald Trump can't complete this ballroom. There has to be a giant hole in the side. That's his problem, not our problem. He's the one that started it, but he needs to stop it. And the only people that can fix that giant hole is Congress. The judges, the federal judges, said the only way we can fix the giant gaping hole in the side of the White House lawn is if Congress passes a bill specifically to fix that giant hole in the lawn. Now, he's going to go out here and fight all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's probably going to go, you know what, that sounds really impractical. Congress isn't ever going to do anything. We're going to make some sort of weird amendment like we did with fucking Al Gore in 2020 or in 2000 to, make some kind of referendum as the Supreme Court to allow you to fix your fucking ballroom since there's a giant hole in the ground. But technically, the way that the judges have spoken, technically the way that the law is right now until the Supreme Court comes in is you don't get to lobby. You don't get to go to Supreme Court. You don't get to do any of that. The way that you can fix your giant hole in the side of the White House, Trump, is to get Congress, who has never passed a bill other than reconciliation to pay themselves, to pass a bill to fix the giant fucking hole in the side of the White House lawn. You can blame him. I'm the one that wrote I dug the hole. But then the judges said, I can't fix the hole. I dug the hole. I'm the idiot. But now that I dug the hole, they've told me I can't fix the hole. The only people that can fix the hole are the people that have never passed a bill the entire time I've been a fucking president. Come on, guys. You gotta play against them.
That's something I wanted to do.
But instead, he's going to do this workaround lobby where he's going to keep pitching to his donors, his billionaire donors, look what they're doing, look what they're doing, look what they're doing. And then they'll get to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court will look at it and go, well, this is fucking kind of crazy because It's already a giant hole in the fucking side of the lawn, and there's no way you can fix the giant hole in the side of the lawn unless we just, as the Supreme Court, say, this one time and this one time only, you can finish this project, Daddy Trump. Otherwise, we know this hole will never be fixed. But the way our government is structured, the legislator should fix the hole. The legislator should fix the hole. But where is the legislator right now? They're on vacation. Asking you to vote for them. Both the left and the right, they're on vacation asking for votes. While they should be, technically, fixing the hole. They should be sitting there every day, and every Democrat should be, no, we're going to fill it in with sand. You're not allowed to build a ballroom. And every Republican should be like, no, we should fucking build the ballroom, security, blah, blah, blah. They should be lobbying, doing this on the Congress floor every day. That's their fucking job. But we're going to live in a reality where they don't have to do their job. They can go on vacation. But we, the American public, have to deal with the giant hole because Donald Trump didn't really have the approval to do so. All right, where's the approval? They're on vacation. That's the approval. They're asking for you to vote for them again while they're on vacation. That's the approval.
That's needed. And again, I'm not going to get
Congress is retarded.
Because by the time
basically, that's the point. That's the point I'm making. It's like, stick a fucking camera up and say, when they want to do something, then we'll do something. And guess what? You'll never get it done. And then everyone will slowly come around to what Two Gun Cohen is already saying here, which is Congress is retarded. That was the end of that. All right, okay. Well, here we go. Next up, we got Byron Donalds doing a campaign speech for governor in Florida, guys. Let's see what's going on here. This guy, I think he might be a little scared. I don't know. I mean, he's up by 98% to Fishbach right now. This guy is a AIPAC-funded, apparently the next black governor of Florida. Guaranteed, the Kelshi odds say. Given over $120 million by AIPAC to win this election, and apparently he's winning it. But we'll see. We'll see tomorrow if he actually wins. We got our money on Fishbach. We'll see. I don't think he's going to pull it off, but it's going to be a tough one. Really? He's literally using John Cena music? Bro.
She'll be in a moment. You'll
Is
see
this
her
real?
in a moment. The first time I ever came to
Sunglasses
City,
inside.
my
John
wife's
Cena music.
grandparents took us.
Guy's trying to be too
They
cool.
said you got to come up to Hillsborough County.
He's like, I'm black. I'm the black governor. And it's like, yeah, so then when the other guy's like, actually, he's the Jewish governor, like, he's trying to, like, protect his Jewishness and all of his Jewish donors by being like, I'm black. Hey, guys, Jewish donors, I'm black.
And I was
That's
just
going
like,
on
what are we
here.
doing? And my wife said, you don't know? And I said, at the time, it's like, honey, I've only lived in Florida about 6 years. What are we talking about? They go, you got to come to the Strawberry Festival. And that was the first time I've ever come to Plant City. And that
Strawberry Festival's
shortcake,
dope, bro. If you're in Florida, go to the Strawberry Festival.
It was excellent. But listen, now I'm back. And I'm back for one reason. Because tomorrow, Republicans go to the polls and they elect the next nominee for governor.
Guys, does it look like he has like a huge support fan base, or does this look like Joe Biden drawing circles in the sand to separate people at his rallies in COVID in 2020? This man apparently has a 98% chance of beating Fishbach for governor. Now, Fishbach has been sniping IShowSpeed on the World Cup streams. He's been going around to flock cameras with Tyler Oliveira. He's been doing interview after interview on the ground. And then you've got the guy who has 98% odds of winning, AIPAC backed with $100 million in his pocket, putting some sunglasses on and getting some golf claps at the Strawberry Festival.
And let's be very
I don't
clear
know.
what's at stake in this
I don't
election
know. There might be a
tomorrow
chance for
and what's at
Fishbach.
stake over the next 79 days in our state. Tomorrow we choose once again who's going to lead our party into the future. Now let me give you a little backstory. When I got into politics, this was back in 2009, there was the Tea Party movement in Southwest Florida. I was somebody that was frustrated with what was going on in the American economy at the time.
And what have
like
you done?
A lot of young kids, I was trying to figure out how we were going to make ends meet.
In those 16 years or 14 years, what have you done? Because you got elected, you went to Congress. What have you done? He's trying to be relatable. He's like, I know all you kids like Fishbach and you like your Sneeko streams and your Asmongold's, but you know, before all that, there was this thing with me and Charlie Kirk called the Tea Party. Fuck off. You've been in Congress for 8 years, done nothing.
How I was going to build...
Took $100 million from APAC.
My wife and I, when we first got married, we had a 1,200 square foot...
God, I hope this guy goes down tomorrow.
God, I hope... Jalousies? That's how you pronounce it? The Jalousie windows. Everybody knows them because
this guy on vacation? Yeah, he's currently on vacation.
And that's what we had. We had to negotiate
Vote for him.
The security deposit into our monthly rent.
Currently on
because
vacation.
We didn't have the security deposit. That's all we could afford. When we were working early on, I transferred down to Naples, Florida from Tallahassee.
It is crazy that they always still act like they need to, like in a digital universe, Congress still acts like they need to go on vacation for 2 to 3 months to literally just stand up locally in places in their state and do this. You would think that if you're running for governor of Florida, that if you had the if you had the federal Capitol building behind you, and you were like, I know everyone else is on vacation, but I decided to stay in D.C. because this is my job, but I'm going to talk to all of you, and you did it on the fucking lawn, you'd probably get a better reaction from the American public than continuing to go back to your home states, do a bus tour like Susan Collins, or fucking wear some sunglasses and eat some strawberries like this guy, all while on vacation and being paid by us. Like, at what point does it stop? This is so fucking retarded.
I was a waiter at Cracker Barrel. When I got to Naples, Florida, I was still a waiter.
Yeah, he's a waiter at Cracker Barrel, guys. 98%
APAC
fucking tax. There you
just
go.
To make ends meet. Because when you're starting out, that's what you do. You just work hard every single day and try to find a way to bring it all together. My wife was 6 months pregnant with our oldest son, our first son. And she was a staff accountant, entry level, coming out of Florida State with a degree in accounting. And she started as a staff accountant, and on the weekends she was working.
Most of them don't live in the state that they represent. Great, then you don't have to travel to the Strawberry Festival. Then you don't have to get on a bus to drive around your own state of Maine, Susan Collins. You can literally just stay in D.C. where you fucking belong, and you can lobby from there for votes. It would look a lot better. Why has no one tried this? We're in the 21st century. Do a live stream on Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and YouTube every day for 3 hours, just answering questions, saying, I know everyone else is on vacation, but I'd like to know what you guys think. I'm doing my job. Please vote for me. Has anyone thought of doing that? It sounds like a fucking crazy idea, doesn't it?
Services. She was answering phones on the weekend just to make ends meet.
Sounds angry about his wife being pregnant.
Those early years. We struggled those early years.
No, he's black,
So we look at the affordability.
Yeah, he took $100 million from APAC. Yeah, he has a 98% chance of winning. Yeah, he's endorsed by Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. Yeah, he's basically a black Jew. But he's got cool sunglasses on. He's a black guy. He's a black conservative. Look how cool a black conservative guy.
Issues facing Floridians
today. He's the third Hodge twin.
On my wife and I, we know this because we've been through it.
He's the black Candace Owens. He's the fucking manly Candace Owens. He's the governor Candace Owens. Don't worry about all that APAC money. He's cool. He's the cool black conservative. Okay.
We understand what it means when you're trying to figure out how to balance between food and groceries and rent and health care. We know it because we've been there. Having kids.
Hellhound, Byron Donalds is a rock star, and I would vote for him 10 times. Kelshi and the world is telling us that every single person that lives in Florida doesn't even know who Fishbach is, has never heard of the guy. He's just a racist grifter who spoke to Nick Fuentes and hates Jews. But Byron Donalds is a rock star, and every single person is going to vote for him. Do we think that's how it's going to shape up in Florida tomorrow? Because they're saying 98%. 98% on this guy right now. I don't know. The guy that's sniping iShow speed streams, the guy that's sitting down there talking to Clavicular, I don't know. It seems like he's got maybe a little bit more touch on the Florida fucking register than this black conservative, Hodge twin number 3.
Anybody that's got children, you know,
having
having
a
a baby is
motherfucker,
not cheap.
yeah.
It's not cheap. And we figured out ways to do it. My wife and I, when we were in church, we were in the Dave Ramsey program. We were getting our
Wow! Do you see that? He was in the Scam Artist program. He was relatable to you guys. You retirees, listen to Dave Ramsey. Fuck off. I hope the youth votes this guy out. I really hope that the youth shows up in Florida on election day and votes the fuck out of Fishbach. Because this is ridiculous. He is grifting for retirees in Florida. I'm just like you. I'm a Tea Party guy. I'm just like you. I'm a black cool conservative. I'm just like you. I'm at the Strawberry Festival, not doing my job. I'm just like you. My wife is pregnant and we listen to Dave Ramsey. Fuck off.
Paychecks in cash and stuffing
Loser.
envelopes. This was going to be for groceries. This was going to be for the kids' doctor's appointments. This was going.
These old hags really think they have a touch on fucking reality, and this is why I'm telling you, put your money on Fishbach. We're going to put that $10 from fucking Just Me on Fishbach tomorrow night live on the stream. But right now, I put money on Fishbach. I've lost $2 out of my $5. But I guarantee you, that the odds are going to go back up to 40 or 50% the night of the election. So if you want to make a quick buck, you don't even have to say that Fishbach's going to win. But there's no way in fucking hell that the odds when the election night coverage comes in are still at 2%. The guy is talking to iShow Speed. The guy is fucking goddamn doing interviews with Tyler Oliveira. The guy has talked to Nick Fuentes. The guy has talked to Sneeko. The guy has talked to Clavicular. The guy is on the ground in Florida every single day campaigning for almost a year and a half, aggressively against the institutionalization of this. But Mr. Fox News Dave Ramsey over here says, well, it's Florida. And Florida, we got Ron DeSantis' endorsement, and we got Donald Trump's endorsement. Fishbach who? Oh, he's talking to racist Nazis? There's no way. There's no way. It's Florida. We've got the Jew vote. Like, it's so, like, if only the old hags show up on tomorrow, then sure, it's a landslide. But I really don't think they're the only people that are voting in Florida tomorrow. Hopefully.
To be for lunch and for food. And we did all that, but we worked hard every single year. You see, even though times can be tough, Florida is the great meritocracy in all of America.
And there's a reason that this sitting congressman has to go to Florida to a strawberry festival, do a fucking speech where he gets golf claps and there's barely anybody in the audience the night before the primary. But he's got 98% odds of winning. Fishbach isn't even doing a public event. But this guy's doing a public event where he's getting golf claps and pandering as a literal fucking congressman. That's what you watch out for. The same thing happened with Hong. Hong was out there. You did not see the black guy out there the night before. You saw her do 3 different rallies that night. He was nowhere to be found the night before. If you're institutional favor, you don't have to go out and speak. It's really weird to have the polls at 98% right now.
America. And so we
It's
knew
just
that
not
if
true.
we just kept at it and stayed focused, we would be able to figure it out and build that Florida dream. I remember after our oldest son was just born, my wife wanted to get her master's degree in accounting. And so what does a family do? You stick together. So while she would work all day and study all night, I was mom and dad. I took care of our son.
Wow.
I made sure he got...
He's a single dad too, because she was in college. Because she went to college. His wife went to college. So he became a single dad. What?
I know how to change
I'm a
diapers,
cool black
and
conservative.
I know the bedroom routine. Because that's what families do. when you're trying to make ends meet. And quite frankly, that's what Floridians are doing right now. Working hard to make...
Guys, I put $5 on Fishbach on August 14th, okay? We're at $1.77. We've lost almost that entire $5. And right now, if tomorrow night I'm right, meaning I win the whole thing, I get $212. I guarantee you that he's going to go up to at least 40% odds. People are not paying attention to elections on Kelshi. Put your money on Fishbach right now tonight. He's only at 2%. Have a cash out rate of 40%. Byron Donalds will probably stay in the lead the whole night, and Byron Donalds will probably end up winning. But when the polls close for the primary tomorrow night, there's no way in fucking hell that Fox News isn't surprised at the amount of people that are voting for Fishbach. Because these people don't see anything than their own institutional side. They don't see that Fishbach sniped iShow speed streams. They don't see that Fishbach is going out and interviewing with fucking Cavicular and sitting down with Nick Fuentes and having these deep conversations. They see only what they want to see, which is, well, he has $100 million from AIPAC. Republican Floridians are inherently pro-Israel. Donald Trump is from Mar-a-Lago, and Donald Trump has endorsed him. The sitting senator, or the sitting governor of the state that's on his way out, Ron DeSantis, has also endorsed this guy. James Fishbach is at a 1.7% shot. If you want to get rich, put the money in right now, wait until the polls close, and sell when Fishbach goes up to 40%. It's going to be a lot closer than they're acting like it's going to be. But I guarantee you, he probably will still win. There's a huge Jewish population there. But there's no way in fucking hell that Fishbach doesn't come away with at least 30 or 40% of the overall vote. And so if you're at 1.3% odds, and then the primary election coverage on the fucking Kornacki cam comes on, and the first voting rolls are, oh, it's 50% versus 50%. Byron Donalds got, whoa, Fishbach got 50%. The guy had 1% odds. It's so crazy. Got 50%. And then he goes up to 40% on those odds. Sell that motherfucker right then. Cash the fuck out. Times 15 victory, guys. It's that simple. Because these idiots at Fox News think this guy's got a cakewalk.
These are not the words of somebody who's been listening to consultants and lobbyists and staffers. These are the words of a young man who came to this state 30 years ago, who built his life with his wife from the bottom.
I know they don't know the streamers. That's why I'm saying he probably will still win. But the fact that they're acting like the other guy doesn't exist while he's on Tyler Oliveira videos about flock cameras last week that have 6.7 million views on YouTube on a channel with 10 million subscribers, that is reaching a lot more Americans on a fundamental issue that we all care about, flock cameras, than this guy at the Strawberry Festival saying Donald Trump, AIPAC, the Jews, and Ron DeSantis all say I already won. Look at me, I'm a cool black conservative. I'm the Hodge twin number 3. Like, it's just, what the fuck you're in a delusional reality. You're in a delusional reality. Your opponent is getting millions and millions of views advocating against flock cameras, which you haven't even taken a position on yet. There will be people that will go out and vote for Fishbach. There will be. Will he get enough? Probably not. There's a lot of fucking retarded, old-ass hags in Florida that love Israel. But the youth will show up because they're being influenced.
The Florida dream is alive and well for everybody in our state.
Problem is youth vote is usually so low, exactly. And that's what they're speculating on. They're going, endorsement from Trump, they're literally going, endorsement from Trump, endorsement from the governor, and all of the AIPAC money your heart can desire. There's no way he loses. It's already over. That's their perspective. And also, how much of that AIPAC money do you think was put on Kelshi specifically just to enhance the odds of him winning? Because if I worked for Byron Donalds' campaign, I would have put a fucking bazillion dollars in on him. Like last month. Put those odds right down to 1% for Fishbach, so when everybody goes and looks at the market odds of who's going to win, they go, oh, well, Fishbach only got a 1% chance. I better vote for the Donald Trump-endorsed, AIPAC-endorsed, Ron DeSantis-endorsed Republican because I don't hate myself. And then the reality is that the other people that actually give a fuck about the actual fundamental issues of insular America, of America first, the actual issue of America first, they're going, well, this Fishbach guy was on a flock video taking down flock cameras last week with 7 million views. I think I'll vote for him instead of Hodge twin number 3, tied to Trump, tied to Israel, tied to fucking Ron DeSantis. Fuck this shit.
What it means for the future of our states. It's the agriculture lands that are critical of Florida. We feed ourselves.
I know, that's what Bobby, that's what I'm saying.
When people go to Publix or Winn-Dixie, some of you
but
guys,
there are people
you
that
go to
do,
Whole
and that's
Foods,
what's crazy.
That's okay. You know, that's all right. That's all right. But when you go there, the food you're buying has come off the farms in Florida. When it's cold in this country, the food the Eastern Seaboard buys is from Florida. And so our agricultural lands are just as important as the future economy of our states.
Yeah, and all of the profits that we get, we're going to give them to Israel to fight Iran because they can't have a nuclear weapon. What fucking, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You got to be full retard to not vote for Fishbach, even if you've never heard of him. Because look what you got. Oh, Daddy Trump endorsed, Ron DeSantis endorsed, Israel endorsed, Black Hodge twin number 3. Oh boy. Oh boy. 8 more years of this. Yeah.
Everybody's struggling with insurance. And the legislature and Governor DeSantis, and by the way, Governor DeSantis has done a great job leading Florida. Of course. He's done
and Fishbach is out there every day saying Florida could be better, and Ron DeSantis is protecting only AIPAC-backed fundamental issues for Israel. I'm sorry, there's a lot of people that are paying attention, even in Florida. And I do not think that this is going to be a cakewalk for him tomorrow. Do I think he's going to win? Yeah. There's enough of an influence in Florida for AIPAC to win. But there's also enough influence from alternative media sourcing to say Fishbach is a nationwide recognizable candidate.
Great job. And they started some of the work about...
Ron kissed the wall. You really think that fucking Black Hodge twin number 3 ain't going to go and kiss the wall tomorrow? That's what I'm saying. Like, get done with this shit, y'all. You have a candidate. Get done with this shit, y'all.
Making sure insurance was better in our state. They've started that work. But we have more to do. When you're paying those premiums, you want to make sure that...
He talks crap about Jews while wearing a Jew hat, a pussy Frenchman hat. Okay, is it a Frenchman hat or a Jew hat? Sound like a fucking retard.
That insurance company is
It
with
sound
you
like Hodge
through
twin
the
number
storm.
3 over here.
Not just to the beginning of the storm. You want them there with you through that storm. And we are going to make sure that they stay with you through that storm.
Don't worry, guys. Fucking Tucker Carlson will come out here and say that he's America first for him.
We also want to reform the regulatory side of our insurance markets.
You gotta vote for this
because we
guy.
can push
Gotta
down costs in Florida 20%
Whoa.
for Florida's families, and we want to be able to get that done for the people of Florida. When I talk about insurance, it's not a talking point. I chaired the Insurance and Banking Subcommittee when I was in the Florida House. My career was banking, insurance, and financial services for 17 years in the real world. Side note, I'm the only person running for governor that's actually worked in the real world.
Ah, see? You really gonna attack your opponent in a primary the night before the fucking primary if you're not worried? Why even do that? Why even do that? If Fishbach isn't a concern, if you didn't take all your AIPAC money and put it on Kelshi to make them a 1% odd, if every poll wasn't funded by AIPAC, why come out here the night before the primary and literally attack your primary opponent? It sounds like you might be a little scared, Hodge twin number 3.
That's actually worked in the real world.
And again, what does he get in response to that? That was a direct attack on his opponent. And what does he get back? A bunch of fucking Jewish donor claps. A bunch of fucking Joe Biden claps. Woo! Yay! Florida! Keep Florida, Florida! Keep Jews running Florida!
And so when we talk about affordability,
Keep Israel funding Florida!
That's in a case study. This is what I know.
I think it's over. As much as it's over for fucking AOC and Francesca Hong, I think it's over for these policies of, well, I got Donald Trump's endorsement and I'm a black conservative. No, I think we're done with that too. I think we're fucking done with that too.
The community bank analyst. I worked in my community to local contractors, local builders, local mom and pops, trying to help them have the working capital.
You suspect that I'm a paid mouthpiece? Bro's literally like an Israel bot in the chat over here. I suspect that you're a paid influencer to influence the agenda of America First that gets you canceled on all social media platforms via Nick Fuentes. Yeah. I think you're an institutional bot, Alex, for Nick Fuentes.
Companies to keep things alive and keep things afloat.
This fucking black Jew retard ain't gonna fucking. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. Okay, he's gonna win. But if you have any common sense, you have to understand that it's not going to be a 1.4% odd. That's what I'm getting at. Go put your money in Kelshi right now, because what they're doing with these elections, they did the same thing with Hong. If you, because again, what do they say about Kelshi? They say, well, the Kelshi odds are actually better than the poll odds. No, they're not. They're the same thing. They're actually easier to influence, because you just take your campaign money and you put it on your candidate for the fucking campaign. It's like literally a free fucking advertisement. So Byron Donalds and the Jewish AIPAC supporters supporting Donald Trump, Israel, and Ron DeSantis put millions of dollars on Kelshi in his favor to make it look like Fishbach has less than a 1% odd of actually winning, because we look at the Kelshi odds now, not the polls. The polls are wrong. The Kelshi odds are fucking perfect. That's why Hong lost, even though she had a 93% chance of winning the night of the election. It's not like I can just take $10 million and say, well, Byron Donalds, I support you, and put it all on him on Kelshi and literally be a campaign ad without ever having to go through any of the campaign finance laws at all, influence the election more on the polling than the poll itself. But if you want to win a little bit of money, put your money on Fishbach right before Kornacki gets on the air. Because Kornacki's going to get on the air, everyone's going to go, whoa, my money! Oh no! Fishbach's getting votes! How is he getting votes? What is going on here? And then they're going to fucking amplify it for 2 or 3 hours for ratings. And unlike sports, there's a lot of fucking idiots that'll sit there and actually pay attention to the news as if it isn't a narrative. So they'll watch Kornacki act like it's a close race, and then they'll fucking panic and move their money around. And then when it gets to 40% odds of Fishbach winning, you sell your fucking money, cash out, and you tripled it. And you stole the fucking money from who? The other side. And the other side is what? A bunch of fucking Jews supporting Hodge Twin number 3, cool black conservative over here. So it will feel even better to win that $40 bet, because you just took it right out of the fucking greedy, stupid Israel Jews' hands. Right there. See you later, AIPAC. I'm taking my money. And then you let the fucking black Jew win.
When we bought our first house, it was at the beginning of the financial collapse. We thought we got a good deal in early 2008, and we didn't know 2010 was coming. We thought we got a good deal, but we worked and we persevered.
Yeah.
We want to make
He's
sure...
a hard-working man. That's why he's on vacation right now, not doing his job. That's why he's attacking his primary opponent with a 98% chance of winning on Kelshi. Kelshi odds are better than polls, guys, right? So he came into this with literally a 99.3% chance of winning this election tonight or tomorrow. 99.3% chance right now. But he's going to do a campaign stop the night before on vacation instead of doing his job to explain to you that he's a hardworking American and that the other guy has never worked a day in his life. Quite fucking ironic, ain't it?
Person can get
and then he's going to attack the guy too. I don't know why. 99% chance of winning. Why do any of this? Why not just do the job? Since you're worried about working and showing that you're the working guy and that the other guy isn't doing his job, maybe go back and do your fucking job. I don't know.
Timelines and what it costs to build housing. Because contractors and developers don't eat the costs. You eat the costs. And government has to get out of the way and allow housing to be cheaper for the people of Florida. And we can get that done.
Woo! You really think that that's the winning? It sounds so Joe Biden, guys.
And we are on our way.
Maybe enough corruption, but does not seem like the
We've always
persevered
been
vote.
an ag state and a retirement state.
These guys are
and
not
a
excited
tourism
to be
state,
here.
But today, Florida is an everything state. Because of the craziness in New York City, we have business owners saying enough is enough, and they're coming.
Guys, we just ended our poll of the day. We're going to go into our runoff between Marco Rubio and Gavin Newsom. Remember, $5 super chat, add anybody's name to the poll of the day. $10 super chat, remove anybody's name from the poll of the day. Hour 2 of our show starts now. Hit that join button, become a comrade, help support the channel, keep us independent so that we can talk about Hodge twin number 3 here without having to worry about all the Jew money coming into my pocket.
In the Florida.
Or I'm bought and paid for anyway.
Wilson, you figured COVID-19 would have been enough for them, but they stayed. And then they saw Mamdani, and they said, that's it, I gotta go. They said, that's it.
Put fear in it, communist
We are
fear.
quickly becoming a major
Your
financial
opponent
hub
isn't
in
communist,
the Western
though.
Hemisphere, here in Florida. A couple of hours down the road is Kennedy Space Center. It used to just be a museum. Now it's the most active spaceport in all of America. The most active.
Because of Elon Musk's
We're going to
privatization
do
of rockets.
1,000 launches a year out of Cape Canaveral.
How the fuck does
We
that
are
have anything
going
to
to
do with
lead
you?
the Western Hemisphere when it comes to commercial space. And
He's
that's
gonna be the
not just
governor, but it
about
sucks.
Elon Musk launching rockets to the moon and to Mars. It's about the manufacturing jobs for the commercial space race right here in Florida. For our young kids who are trying to figure out if they can really build the Florida dream, I tell you yes. And that's built around an economy that is growing with high-paying jobs, not just for engineers and for scientists, but for machinists and contractors and welders. It's how we bring all of that into balance so people can have that same dream for themselves. You've heard me say this phrase nonstop.
No, I'm not laying concrete, Vince, but do you think that this guy is, as he's on vacation, attacking his primary opponent when he's up by 99.3% odds on Kelshi? Like, what's the point of this? And the whole speech is about how he worked and the other guy hasn't worked. Well, you're currently on vacation, my guy. You're currently not working as we voted for you to go and work.
Florida dream.
You're currently attacking your primary opponent, even though you have a 99.3% chance of winning. Why even do that?
That's because 18 months ago when I got into this race, I was at a fire pit at home.
Sounds a lot like Francesca Hong the night before.
Talking about what this race would look like. And when we talked about all these various policies, all the things we got to get done, it always came back to one ideal. And it's the dream that we've been able to build in our lives. It's the Florida dream because it encapsulates the American dream better than in any other state in America. We are the standard now. We are the #1 state in this country. We are the free state of Florida. And as your next governor, that will not change. So Republican.
All right, we just put in. So just me added a few monies for our bets on Tuesday. I said that we would do them live, but I'm understanding what's going on here, which is they're a little fearful that this is going to be a close election. So he came down to the strawberry fields to be black conservative number 3 and do his little dance or whatever. But we put that $10 down, guys. And if Fishbach somehow turns around and ends up winning, we would end up with $600. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. We're going to sell that at a 40% odd. We're going to turn that $5 into $250. But pay attention. This is what you need to do. Like, it's simple math. This is not sports betting. This is not anybody can knock anybody out in the 3rd round. This is manipulative storytelling. And right now, they're manipulating with their money the odds to get you in the voting booth. But when the polls close, they start counting the votes, and they want you to watch all night long. So they're going to make it look like it's really close. And when they make it look like it's really close, everybody goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What happens, what happens, what happens? And then you fucking pull your money out and you win your fucking day. Bro should be turning away teens outside of bars, strip clubs, casinos.
Players are going to decide tomorrow.
Yeah, go work at a bouncer at fucking...
By the way, who's...
This bro needs to be working at the Miami club that played the Hail Hitler, making sure they never play Hail Hitler for the Jews. He's got all that AIPAC money. He needs to be sitting out there as the security guard. Hey, don't play Hail Hitler. That's not allowed. That's anti-Semitism. Hey, make sure you don't play Kanye at the club. Hey, stop playing Kanye at the club. Oh, okay, you know what? No one's coming to the club. I guess I am a Jew, so I guess you can play Kanye at the club.
Voted.
Raising your hands? Who's going to vote for? Who already voted? Everybody raises their hands. Why are we here? You're scared, bro. I'm not saying you're going to lose, but you're definitely scared. You have your own team show up for your own rally while on vacation to explain that you're the only guy that works and attack your opponent when you're up by 99.3% on Kelshi? I don't know, my guy. Sounds like you're scared. We voted for you because we're not anti-Semitists. You know what I really want to see here? When they go, who'd you vote for? I want them to turn the fucking camera on the crowd and see everybody being like, oh, yeah, we all voted for you. We all live in West Palm Beach and we all voted for you. Okay, yeah. Wait till the Miami vote. Wait till the Orlando vote. Wait for that fucking Tallahassee vote, y'all. Woo! It's going to get a little bouncy there, ain't it? As long as you stay in fucking Tampa and West Palm Beach, you're going to be fine. But the rest of the state, you got a little bit of calming down to do. Also, look, everybody's white Jewish hands raising up for black conservative number 3. Woo!
Well, you already know the homework assignment, don't you?
Glasses inside.
Tomorrow you go to the polls and vote.
Glasses inside.
I'm always asked,
what are you doing?
Keep saying every election is the most important election in
Get
our
the fuck out of here wearing glasses at a
Milton
podium.
and I have said it.
Black Joe Biden over here.
Danny and I have said it.
Black Joe Biden ass. Get your Black Joe Biden ass off the stage.
Karen Gonzalez
didn't work for him and ain't gonna work for you.
We all say it. This is the most important election in your lifetimes. Well, the reason why it's said every election cycle is because when the framers of this nation built the greatest governing document man has ever known, very famously, Benjamin Franklin came out of that hot hall in the summer of
Benjamin Franklin, take your fucking glasses off, Mr. Cool Guy.
Philadelphia, and he said, it's a republic if you can keep it. If you can keep it. Well, that republic is only kept by you.
Guy is wearing sunglasses, looking like Joe Biden, and then he's getting the applause of his audience of Joe Biden. If you ever listen to Trump, the reason he says that the 2020 election is fake is because Joe Biden couldn't ever fucking hold an audience. This guy is here the night before his primary, attacking his opponent when he's up by 99.3% on fucking Kelshi right now, wearing fucking shades like Joe Biden, getting claps like Joe Biden, and we're living in what reality? Which one? The Aviator should be the strong self for people that this dude is bought and couldn't give a fuck about Florida. Exactly.
That's how we keep the republic alive and well.
The irony of standing up here while on vacation, talking about how your opponent, attacking your opponent that only has a 1% odd of winning, attacking him for not working a day in his life. As you're currently on vacation as a fucking congressman. We voted for you. You're not doing your job. You're campaigning while you're up by 99% attacking your opponent for not working. Huh?
And then Florida, we have to do it one more time. You see, the Democrats have gone and found a nominee. It looks like their nominee is going to be a guy named David Jolly. Now, they didn't learn their lesson from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, they found a former Republican who became an independent and then all of a sudden was a Democrat.
Okay, guys, so I just put that money in from Just Me, okay? So we have the Just Me bet and we have my bet as well. But right now, the leverage point, when I I'm selling at 40% odds. When I sell at 40% odds on Fishbach, I'm going to end up with $200 out of $15.
That guy got beat pretty badly.
We're not saying that he's going to win. We're not delusional.
So, I guess they're going to try it again.
Mass manipulation of the
David
markets.
Jolly is a former Republican.
It's going to be a lot closer.
He became an independent. And all of a sudden, last year, at 52 years old, he decided, oh, I'm a Democrat, just so I can run for governor. Ladies and gentlemen, David Jolly's a Trojan horse for the Democrat Socialists of America.
Okay, wait. You attacked your own opponent in the primary, but you didn't speak his name, and now you're attacking the Democrat to make sure that all the Jews get all scared about the socialist and that you vote for you. Like, it's Florida. We're not thinking that a Democrat is going to be governor of Florida in 2026, okay? We're trying to decide right now if we want the racist Nazi guy that's sniping IShowSpeed and interviewing Cavicular, or if we want the black guy in shades who's currently a public official on vacation talking about how his opponent has never worked before while up by 99% odds the night before the election. That's what this is.
This is a man who still believes it's okay for boys to play in girls' sports. Like, just pure insanity.
Attack the blue.
Just him
Please, you have to vote for me. If you don't vote for me, then the Nazi guy won't be able to beat the transgender guy in Florida.
Somebody who thinks that's okay shouldn't be.
Fishbach committed the cardinal sin of questioning and sending funds from the Florida state budget to Israel. Dude never stood a chance after that.
The governor of a state.
But again, I think the odds are going to go a little. It's going to bounce.
I see these
1%. These guys attacking him. A little scared.
One girl.
Little scared.
What's your ages? 13. David Jolly still.
Also, if he's an outsider, if he was canceled, if he's at 1%, and you want to attack him, why would you not attack him with his name the same way as you would attack the Democrat with the name? When you keep the fucking name out of your mouth, it's because you're worried that even mentioning the name might incite a little bit of research. And if you do a little bit of research with your chatbot, you go, oh, wait, this guy's on vacation and he's paid for with $100 million from Jew money and supported by Donald Trump and Israel and Ron DeSantis, the same old. And I could actually vote for this other guy who's still going to beat the transgender activist, but he's America first. I know you're calling him a Nazi, but like, he's America first. He's doing Tyler Oliveira interviews about flock cameras the week before the election.
Thinks it's okay to change the gender of young kids.
Yeah, okay. It's about the gender. Yeah, you're right.
That's just crazy.
The Nazi would never win against the transgender
governor,
person.
We will always protect the puberty of our kids.
Jews in the U.S. are 7 million people, and yet so much influence than anyone. Exactly. And I think that's the combatants people have with it.
Said that Dr. Fauci had unimpeachable judgment.
Let's go with you.
This is what he said. When Ron DeSantis made the right decision,
we're going to cash out and we're fucking. It's going to be a $200 fucking win. It's 40%. That's not that bad. It's not that hard to hit.
So anybody who chooses Fauci over Florida does not deserve to lead Florida into the future.
Right, but your opponent isn't doing that. Your opponent apparently doesn't work a day in his life, and neither do you. He's a primary, my guy. Not worried about the Democrat in Florida.
Once again, Florida, it's a time for choosing. The reason why we are the #1 state in America is because time after time over the last 30 years, we have chosen common sense over crazy. We chose conservatism over liberalism. We chose a quality way of life over the values of New York and Chicago. We chose law and order over defunding the police.
Right, and that's the thing. Well, when you own the media and the money, it's difficult not to have all of the influence. Yeah, and now they're trying to convince us that the market odds, people putting their money on something, means more than the polls. But the polls were wrong for Francesca Hong. The polls were wrong for all of the media, money, and influence. And I think that sometimes we might be a little tired of it. And I've been saying it the whole time, that we're voting out all incumbents. And if people are tired of everyone in Congress, there's a chance they won't show up for Byron Downs. They didn't show up for Bill Cassidy. They didn't show up for Cornyn. They didn't show up for fucking Al or for Dan Crenshaw. They didn't show up for Francesca Hong. You didn't show up for any state assembly member or any state congressman or federal congressman yet. What makes you think you got this so in the bag as you do your only campaign rally and attack your opponent with 99% odds of winning? I don't think that they're odds. I think it's how much Jew money you put in the basket. And hopefully we'll collect ours tomorrow.
November, we're going to choose
Only
common
40%,
sense and republicanism again. Because that is why people keep coming to Florida. So I'm very clear on this one. The primaries are tomorrow. We're going to get that.
You should be so lucky as to have Chicago values. Maybe people would respect you then. What is a Chicago value? Because I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. And, the two people that I would say influenced me the most politically, Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk, also grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. I think I do have those Chicago values. I think you don't.
Business done. But then you and I, we are on a mission to keep Florida free and to keep Florida red. Because the Democrats can keep the...
It's sad enough that Byron is sold out completely, but it's even worse that he's actually retarded if you listen to him long enough.
Crazy in California. They can have the nonsense.
I had a job, and my job was to do nothing right now, like I'm doing.
But they're never going to have power again in Florida.
Indiana Bears.
Are you with me, Plant City? Well, God bless you guys. God bless Florida. And listen, it's hot in August outside in Florida, but that's okay because we are going to remain the best state in all of America. God bless you, Plant City.
No, his donors told him he had to come out here and do a campaign speech because his donors recommended that he do this because if he loses the primary and he didn't come out here, he gets Hillary Clinton. He gets like, well, why didn't you? You should have came out and spoke and you would have had something. This actually made it worse for him because he attacked his opponent. He has a 99% chance of winning. That like, what are we promoting here? Like, he also comes out here and says, I'm the only one in the governor's race that's ever worked a day in my life. As you're currently on vacation, my guy. Like, but I think that his donors told him he had to go and do that. All right, now we got Mike Johnson here.
Movies at home are bigger than ever before.
Riggins. I don't know who the fuck that is, but Mike Johnson doing some campaigning for somebody in Virginia.
Texas and Oklahoma.
November 3rd to earn the votes to have Speaker Mike.
Great to be in Virginia. Well, thanks so much, Jen. It's really great to be in Virginia's 2nd District. This is a critical district and a very important race for the whole country. I'm delighted to be joined by our colleagues here. You got Ben Klein also from Virginia, an extraordinary congressman serving the people so well. We brought in reinforcements from Texas and Oklahoma. Stephanie Bice, congresswoman from Oklahoma, and my buddy Craig Goldman over there from the Texas area. So we're really grateful. The reinforcements are important. We want to emphasize to everybody around Virginia how important this race really is. Virginia's 2nd District will determine the fate of the country because this will be a close election. Now, I'm absolutely convinced that we're going to grow the House majority. We're going to keep and grow the House majority for Republicans in the election 78 days from today. And the reason is because they have extraordinary people running. Jen Kiggins is one of the most effective members of Congress. Don't take my word for it. Look at all the rankings. She's among the most bipartisan members, one of the members that can walk into the middle of chaotic situations and get things done. That's why she's so highly effective. She is the perfect representative for Virginia's 2nd District, given her background and her experience as a veteran, a Navy helicopter pilot, a geriatric nurse practitioner. She's a Navy spouse and a mother of 4. We have 4 children of our own. My oldest son is a midshipman at the Naval Academy right now. I'm so grateful for the leadership that she provides for this community that understands the necessity of taking care of our servicemen and women and the veterans after they serve. Nobody's a better champion than Jen Kiggins. And she's been fighting, one of these issues about banning members of Congress from insider trading and stock trading. Her opponent made a lot of money on that, $21 million in 4 years in Congress. And now she suddenly claims she's had a change of heart? Yeah. I don't think anybody's buying that. You need somebody...
Yeah, but aren't you kind of in charge? Like, again, it's the hypocrisy. Aren't you kind of in charge of Congress? Aren't you the House Speaker? didn't everyone on the left and the right stand up at the State of the Union this year and say, end insider trading? And now you all are on vacation using it as a political leverage to gain votes? The fuck, my guy?
With integrity, you need somebody who has a life full of service to her fellow man. Now she's doing it in Congress, and I'm absolutely convinced she's going to win this election like she's done the last couple, because she's going to outwork them. And she's going to go out there and talk about the truth. What she's done, her incredible record of accomplishment, is going to be a big key to us keeping that majority going forward. So I'm happy to be here. I'm in the middle of a 30-day nonstop tour. I'm going through 18 states and 34 districts, but I mean it when I tell you they're none more important than Virginia's second. So we're so grateful to stand with Jen Kiggins every single day. Okay, we'll take a few questions.
Mr. Speaker, over the weekend, I want to ask you about some of these DSA candidates and sort of the Democrat messaging. Over the weekend, we heard from Minority Leader Jeffries. He said he does not support Medicare for all, and then moments later, one of his members that's on his left, Congressman Khanna, came out and said that Medicare for all is one of the most important priorities for Democrats. I'm curious what you make of that divide within the Democratic Party on that issue, and also how you run against the Democrats when they are so divided within their own.
It's a fascinating thing to see the Democrat Party. They're in the midst of now an open civil war, truly. They don't know who they stand, what they stand for, who stands with them. They don't have a leader. They're kind of a rudderless ship. But the thing that...
Yeah, but like, what about the thousands of there's been at least 20 different Republicans that are in Congress that lost their primaries. You just don't have a narrative for it. The media doesn't have a narrative for it. But the same thing is happening on the right that's happening on the left.
It's so, I think, alarming. Let me use that word, alarming for the American people, is that you have open Marxists who are winning primaries in that party. Hakeem Jeffries is the top leader, the Democrat leader in the House, but he lost his slate of candidates in his own backyard several weeks ago.
It's because everyone in the media, as well as everyone on the Republican and Democratic side, does not want the civil war that's happening in the Republican angle. Because the civil war on the Republican angle is anti-APAC, America first. Which is exactly why Donald Trump is doing what he's doing over in South Korea. He's seeing the fucking lettering on the wall, and he's also a populist first. So he's like, I need to change my fucking stances. I need to start pulling out everywhere else and say, yeah, I got the Iran thing going on, but it's about the nuclear weapon. And everywhere else, I'm pulling out the fucking funds still. But nobody wants to point it out in the media. Nobody wants to point it out on the Republican side. But there's infighting as well on the Republican side. It's just that the opponents are America first. The opponents are anti-APAC. The opponents are anti-Israel. And there's not really a way for CNN, MS Now, Fox News, Mike Johnson, or anyone else to really explain that away. They got to just keep saying, well, those people like Massey deserve to lose, or this person deserved to lose, or whatever. Why did Cornyn lose his seat after 36 years? Why did Bill Cassidy lose his seat after 20 years? In a primary. In a primary. No explanation. Well, they're kind of against Trump and they didn't vote for RFK in the... Okay. Whatever you want to say. Something's happening.
Of radical, far-left candidates. DSA approved and endorsed candidates, and they all won. And one of those races was in the Bronx, in Hakeem Jeffries' own backyard. So he's having a challenge inside.
Fuck both of my poll options? Exactly. That's why you can, for $5, throw a super chat down, add somebody to the poll of the day, or $10, remove somebody's name from the poll of the day. Help to support the channel. Keep us independent. Appreciate you all. Stop it by.
His own camp. And this is an alarming thing for everybody, because the challenge is coming from people who, they put their platform out. They published it. They want to abolish the border. They want to abolish all.
What's the platform of the people going against the incumbents that are in the Republican primary? What's their agenda? Let's not talk about that, right? Because that agenda is fuck Israel. Fuck AIPAC. I'm not taking a dime. It's a little scarier than communism. That's very easy to identify for you, ain't it?
All prisons in America. They want to abolish...
Because these are primaries that we're out here for. We're talking about the fucking Democratic nominees in November.
Governing body over the country. Why? Because they believe that over 2 or 3 cycles, they'll be able to bring a wave of Marxist communists into the Congress and take it over. And when we get to that stage, you know what they want to do? Take away and assume the means of production to the government. That means no more private property ownership. That means the small business owners across America who provide jobs an opportunity for people will be taken over by the government. It's a dangerous game. We started a website. We launched a website over the weekend, contrastforamerica.com, and I encourage everybody to go there to see where we...
Does Contrast for America show us where James Fishbach is? Or is it only socialist versus you? Is it only... It's AIPAC versus socialists on a website, guys. Ignore all the America First candidates on both sides.
We line up these policies side by side. We line up these candidates side by side.
Look at the socialism versus the AIPAC.
This is an election of a contrast election between common sense and crazy, and increasingly now common sense and communism. And we're using this website as a...
If you're Jewish and you don't like this rhetoric, you probably should just turn my show on Wednesday afternoon, because tomorrow it's going to get wild. Okay? It's going to get wild.
Way to educate people, especially young voters, to understand.
We're going to deep dive into that.
The government is big enough to promise you everything for free, will almost certainly take it away in short order. Definitely they will in the long term. That is the story of communism. Communism has been the reason that tens of millions of innocent people have been murdered in the 20th century alone. It's a dangerous dark road. It's anti-American.
Every time you say that, it sounds like you're scared.
The answer to the question is, what's going to happen with the Democrat Party? I'll just tell you. This is not the Democrat Party of our fathers or our previous generations. Congress now, in the next Congress, we will not be arguing over marginal tax rates or regulation. We'll be arguing over whether or not we're going to maintain our republic in our 251st year as a nation, or if we're going to go down this dark, dangerous, deadly road to communism. The Democrats represent that. The Republicans represent what we have shown. The
Republicans represent the Jews.
Just words. This is action. We have cut taxes.
And
we have
all
cut
love
regulations. We have broadened the pathway of poverty for more people. We have put the economic conditions in place for more jobs and higher wages and all of this. And
more money to
that's what
AIPAC.
you're going to continue to see, doubling down on that and making sure that we bring down the cost of living for every American. We know how to do it. This is the party that will do it. The other party wants the government to take everything over. You do not want to see what that results in. So, another question.
Dr. Johnson, voters here in the district, there's a lot of military members, veterans. When we see what's going on in Iran, what would your pitch be to voters here about that continuing and gas prices going up right now? Why should that continue?
Yeah, the Iran conflict has been the cause, of course, of gas prices going up. It's drug on. I am grateful, and I think all Americans of good sense are grateful that we have the greatest fighting force in the world, in the history of the world. Our men and women in uniform are the brave people who preserve freedom and stand on that line every single day. We're grateful for that. Because of their prowess, because we are the great superpower on the planet, we were able to take the head off the snake. I mean, Iran was the largest state sponsor of terrorism. It was an evil regime that wanted the downfall of America and has been chanting death to America for almost 50 years. That objective was one that was carried through by every president in recent decades, and we finally had a commander-in-chief who understood their nuclear capability was almost there and that we had to act. We did. Now, resolving the conflict after that is what we're in the process of now. I believe ultimately there'll be a coalition of nations, a combination of allied NATO allies and Arab states in the region. Everybody in the world has an interest in the Strait of Hormuz being open for commerce, and so I believe we'll be getting into a new phase of that where we can calm this down. That will hold gas prices down to planet Earth, and that will also bring down grocery prices, for example, because the transport cost of the fuel adds to that. So we are working every day. I can tell you, I talk to the president multiple times every day on average, okay? He is laser focused on this. He is laser focused on bringing down the cost for everybody, working on those affordability issues. But we don't just talk about it on our side, we do it. And that's what our record of policy.
That's why you're on vacation right now, campaigning for a primary in Virginia.
And legislation and everything we've done in this Congress so far shows. So don't listen to the rhetoric. Look at the record. And when you do that, you see a candidate like Jen Kiggins who stands far above her opponents.
So you talk about democratic socialism, but a lot of the candidates that are running against the Republicans in these battleground fields are not democratic socialists. They're moderates, they're fellow veterans as well. What messaging do you use against these candidates, and how confident are you that Republicans can beat them if the socialist label doesn't stick?
Well, we use the truth. I mean, I give you the example of your governor in Virginia. She ran as a moderate. She governs almost as a Marxist. I mean, she did exactly the opposite of what she said on the campaign trail. They're all going to try to say whatever they think needs to be said to win.
True.
But when they get there, they're going to fall in line. And I'll tell you this, I'll just say this about my friend Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer in the Senate, the two Democrat leaders.
Y'all scared
They're
enough?
not even trying to resist this at this point. They may say that they're not for some of the DSA's platform, but they're going to have to bring these people into the fold. They're going to be a part of that. The energy and the excitement and the grassroots and the funding is on the side of the insurgent left in the Democrat Party. They don't know what to do about it. There's no national leader.
Yeah, we know what to do about it. We Jew supporters come out here and don't talk about the campaigns that are primarying, and we make sure that, you know that communism is the reason you got to help support the Jew candidate. You got to help support the AIPAC candidate. You got to help support the Donald Trump candidate. Donald Trump doesn't lose. I don't know, guys. It's getting closer and closer, and every single fucking primary, the incumbent lost. So, like, it wasn't Republican and Democrat. We've been going since April. Every time the incumbent loses. So you can say there's an insurgence of the radical left on the Democratic side, but the incumbents that you guys support are also losing to a right-wing insurgence that you don't want to speak of because its name is Nick Fuentes, and that's very scary to you and all of your motherfucking money. On the left, the right, the center, the institution, the whole fucking thing. It's a lot worse than communism on the left. Because if you get America first on the right, we're all fucked. As in the people that support the Jewish, like Israel, AIPAC. We're all on the same team here, guys. We all need Israel to fight our battles, okay?
Of the what they call them pragmatic Democrats. The Blue Dog Democrats will no longer exist after November. There is no moderate Democrat Party anymore. Don't count on that, okay? So you need, again, don't pay any attention to the rhetoric. Look at what they've done. Look at what they're doing. Look at the platform they themselves published, and look at the number of those people who are rising through the party. It's a serious challenge for America. Now, I'm here to tell you, Republicans will continue to represent the Constitution, common sense, and working people. We had a big demographic shift in the 2024 election. Working people came over to the Republican Party again in droves, not unlike what they did in the early 80s under Ronald Reagan. We had a record number of Hispanic and Latino voters, Black and African American voters, Jewish voters, union workers, people who had traditionally been in the party. And why? Because the Democrat Party left them behind. That was in 2024. The Democrat Party is now, they've hit the gas. They're going
But you're not leaving
further
anybody
far
behind.
left, and they're going to leave.
We're all
everybody
in support of the
behind.
Jews, so
Republican
we're not
Party
leaving anybody behind.
Governs almost as a
We all
monarchy.
want Israel,
She did
right?
Exactly the opposite.
The left,
of
the
what she
right,
said on
the
campaign
in-between.
trail. They're all
There's
going
nothing to
come
vote
and
against
say whatever
Republican
they think
primaries
needs
on.
to be said to win. But when they get there, they're going to fall in line. And I'll tell you this, I'll just say this about my friend Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer in the Senate, the two Democrat leaders. They're not even...
Guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe 7 days a week, at least 3 hours a day with the news, fully independent. Help support the channel. $5 super chats. Add somebody's name to the poll of the day. $10 super chats. Remove somebody's name from the poll of the day. Hit that join button to become a comrade. Help support the channel. Keep us independent. No Black Rifle Coffee. No fucking Better Help ads. Nobody telling us what to think so that we can say, yeah, communism, bad. Also, Jew AIPAC, bad.
Trying to
Both
resist this at this
bad.
point. They may say that
Wow,
they're
who
not
would
for
have
some of
thought?
the
That's a
DSA's
crazy.
platform, but
Probably
they're going
watch
to have
watch
to
the snipers
bring these
coming out
people
here,
into the
guys.
fold. They're going to be a part of that. The energy and the excitement and the grassroots and the funding is on the side of the insurgent
But you
left
need
of the
to
Democrat
choose
Party.
one. You have
They
to
don't know
choose
what
a
to do about
side.
it. There's no national leader of the what they call them
choose a
pragmatic
side.
Democrats. The Blue Dog Democrats will no longer exist after November. There is no moderate Democrat Party anymore. Don't count on that, okay? So you need, again, don't pay any attention to the rhetoric. Look at what they've done. Look at what they're doing. Look at the platform they themselves published.
This is,
and look at the,
remind you, this is the Speaker of the House campaigning for a current sitting Congresswoman in a Republican primary in Virginia that happens tomorrow. And all he's done for these 12 minutes is talk about communism and the left. I wonder what the opponent in the primary thinks. I wonder what the other Republican thinks. Could they be scared that the other Republican might win?
the number of those people who are rising through the party. It's a serious challenge for America. Now, I'm here to tell you, Republicans will continue to represent the Constitution, common sense, and working people. We had a big demographic shift in the 2024 election. Working people came over to the Republican Party again in droves, not unlike what they did in the early 80s under Ronald Reagan. We had a record number of Hispanic.
And you think those same people are going to be like, oh yeah, gas prices, got to get rid of the nuclear bomb. They're not going to see through your bullshit
Black
at all?
African-American voters, Jewish voters, union.
They didn't get rid of fucking goddamn Bill Cassidy. They didn't get rid of Cornyn. They didn't get rid of Dan Crenshaw. That didn't happen over the last 3 months in primaries that were endorsed by Donald Trump.
Workers, people who had traditionally been in the party. And why? Because the Democrat Party left them behind. That was in 2024. The Democrat Party is now, they've hit the gas, they're going further far left, and they're going to leave everybody behind. So the Republican Party welcomes everyone with open arms. If you believe in America, if you believe in individual freedom,
if you believe in the Jewish state of Israel,
limited government and the rule of law and peace through strength and fiscal responsibility and free markets and human
and the Jewish state of Israel
dignity, we have a place for you. And I'm delighted.
Most importantly,
voters
though,
of
the
Virginia
Jewish state
are
of Israel.
savvy. They're going to pay attention to this. They're going to look at record, not rhetoric. They're going to make the right decisions, and they're going to
Most
re-elect
importantly,
extraordinary
support our
members of
donors.
Congress like Jen Kiggins and Ben Klein. This is going to be a great election cycle in Virginia. We're going to grow the majority for Republicans nationwide, and we're going to keep this thing going for the people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your campaign speech for a Republican primary in Virginia that's tomorrow night, letting us know that communism and the left are bad. All right, okay, guys. That was the Speaker of the fucking House right now, guys. Holy shit. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the news now. First up, Mamdani doing a 60-second comment on AI. Guy needs to get himself on the news every day, right? So here's his AI announcement. Could AI do this?
纽约市 Sorry, one more time. Okay, I will not show New York City high schoolers.
Oh, okay, because yesterday he spoke Chinese, and so today he's going to be cute and not speak Chinese. It's all like, we're rage baiting the Republicans. We're rage baiting them with our Chinese.
纽约市 Sorry, one more time. Okay, I will not show New York City high schoolers. Let me do that one more time. 免费送吃 Okay.
I'm starting to come around to Nick Shirley. Wait, John Ossoff will be our next president? You're just a fucking retard. You, like, I was going to say, like, Nick Shirley, an imbecile. Yeah, sure, a little bit. But then, like, he ended up doing the whole, like, thing where he went over to Morocco and actually investigated what was going on there. So that was cool. And he also isn't, like, inherently biased like Jewish reporter Nate Friedman. But then you made your second comment, which was John Ossoff for president. So we just know that you're a Democratic Jew. And then your third comment, sick of MAGA shitheads. So yeah, you just really wanted us to know you have no IQ points, right? Okay, anyway.
This is Regents junior year all over again. I have a 70 in the state Regents exam.
What? Okay.
Tambien.
I'm in Georgia. Ossoff is one of the good ones. Ossoff took $77 million of AIPAC money. His entire re-election speech is, neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes is on the compound of my opponent, and we must stop him. He's one of the good ones? It's one of the good ones? I think he's the ultimate paid-for Manchurian candidate.
Hasta el lunes 10 y 7. No, lunes 10 y 7. One more time. Yeah, 10 y 7. Gets progressively harder. Okay.
Yeah.
多张百老汇演出门票. No, it's
almost there. How are we with our Q's and our X's and our Y's? There's a lot
okay.
of them here.
Let's do them. Ching.
So this video is called, it's like 90 seconds long or 50 seconds long, and it's literally him doing all these fucking things to do all these basically he's trying to give away Broadway tickets to high schoolers, and he's talking about the Broadway fund for high schoolers, and he's trying to do it in every single language. And the video is called Could AI Do This? Yes, AI could have done this and not wasted your entire day. What was your point? You're the mayor and you spent your whole day speaking 80 different languages to New Yorkers rather than having AI translations do it. Why? Because AI bad, human good? This is the ultimate form of retardation when it comes to AI, people. Actual, skillful, necessary moment for AI, literally dismissed by Mamdani as he wastes his whole day speaking Chinese.
The Theater Development Fund. Lottery. Lottery. I'm just going to say lottery. Broadway show. দেখার জন্য 17 August মধ্যে. Okay, then the rest is okay. Okay.
That was that.
All
I don't
new
know
too.
what that was
Fox News
fucking for.
exclusive.
All right, right now we got Jared Kushner up here now.
With top Trump envoy Jared Kushner, as the 60-day memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran expires, and he meets with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today. This as the two sides discuss the demilitarization of Gaza. Our chief foreign correspondent Trey Yanks just spoke to Jared Kushner. He reports live from Tel Aviv now with the latest. Hi, Trey.
Yeah, hey, John, good afternoon. Special Envoy Jared Kushner back in the Middle East, where he met today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after speaking with Hamas leadership yesterday in Egypt. The Special Envoy telling Fox News that the roadmap to demilitarize Gaza was discussed with new breakthroughs. Take a listen.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu recently called the Board of Peace roadmap unacceptable. Are you asking the Prime Minister to change his thinking?
I think that was his perception of the plan as he got it. I think today we had a very, very good meeting. We were there for almost 4 hours with him and his team going through all the different details. I think there were some valid concerns that they raised that we were able to address. And we were able to go through some of the misunderstandings and misinformation that's been out about it as well. I mean, certain things like we're very committed to the fact that we have a plan to rebuild Gaza, but we will not allow Gaza to be rebuilt until the demilitarization occurs. Nobody wants to put more money into a place that's gone on for so long until if it's just going to be taken over by terrorists or blown up again. We're also not going to restrict Israel's right to defend itself if there are any imminent threats, and so we had to clarify what that means. We could be seeing progress, in as much as in as little as 30 days, hopefully on starting to take some of the weapons out, and hopefully filling in some of the tunnels as well in the next 60 to 90 days as well. So progress could come quite soon, but we do need cooperation from both sides, and we're going to hopefully get through. But we've made a lot of progress to get here. For Israel, we think this is a win-win situation because if Hamas actually gives over the weapons and the tunnels, willingly over the next 60 to 90 days, that obviously would be the elimination of a huge security threat for Israel, almost an unthinkable achievement. And if they don't follow through now on their commitment, everyone will see that they're not genuine about peace, and then Israel will have a lot more support from the U.S. and others to go and finish the job in the appropriate way.
You met with Hamas officials yesterday. Do you think they're genuine about peace?
I mean, they said all the right things, but obviously it's very, very hard to trust, a terrorist organization that committed these terrible atrocities. But we had a very cordial meeting, and they said all the right things, and so we're going to give them a chance to.
If you think we're not losing the war, if you think we're not currently losing to these cheap Iranian drones, if you think we're not, if you think we're winning. You think we're winning as we sit down to build a hotel with the Hamas? to literally dig tunnels for Hamas. You think we're winning? Think that's what winning looks like?
Reform, but it's going to have to be based on actions and steps, and I hope it will be true.
Special Envoy Kushner also discussing the memorandum of understanding with Iran that expires today. President Trump told Fox News early this morning that there is currently a back channel between administration officials and IRGC leadership in Iran. John, Jackie?
All right.
A new threat from President.
Up next, we got Trump makes threat to Oman as U.S.-Iran deal expires.
Trump as a window formally closes in the war with Iran. Today marks the end of the Memorandum of Understanding, as it's called, and its 60-day deadline for peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. This morning, there are no plans in sight to end the war, and while it's not clear what happens next, President Trump is lashing out. And one very unlikely target is Oman. A key.
Something about Jared Kushner freaks you out? Yeah, I mean, it might be that he's literally sitting down with Hamas to build a hotel in the middle of fucking Israel. I mean, there might be something wrong with him. I don't know. There is like entire nations protesting him coming in and demolishing their cities, but
U.S. ally in the Middle East and a broker in trying to seek a deal with Iran. to try to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Bro's
This
literally
morning,
buying the
president
Lakers.
tells Fox News, and I'm quoting the president right now, listen to this. If Oman gets in the way, we'll bomb the shit out of them. Those are the president's words. He also downplays the urgency of a deal as war-weary Americans deal with high gas and oil prices. And his quote, once again, I have no time schedule. I'm not in a hurry, end quote. CNN's Betsy Klein is over at the White House for us. Betsy, what are you learning?
Let's see what's going on
You got
here.
Hayden Panettiere's death.
So now we got Hayden Panettiere's death sparks hard conversations about child star. Okay, again, guys, like I said this at the beginning of the show, but I will reiterate it again. There's no Candace Owens about this. She is a drug addict fiend who was found in a literal friend's house or a random person's house, literally 2 states from where she lived, at 2:30 in the afternoon with Narcan available. There's only one podcast of her, and she's shaking and shivering, explaining that she was put naked on a cruise boat with a rock star when she was 18 and had to hide in a corner until they got back to shore. No one else gave her the time of day, and now the Candace Owenses of the world are now saying, well, it's because she spoke up against Hollywood. No, she got her daughter taken away because she was a drug addict. And then she died of being a drug addict. It's not
major conversations around what happened, protecting child stars and mental health. This Reckless Ben troubled teen facility situation was already crazy, but then we got a wild update while doing today's show. You got the scandal out of Cambridge just getting bigger and bigger, and you've got what might be a political troll actually deciding control of the US Senate. We're talking about all of that and even more on today's brand new Philip DeFranco show, you daily dive into the news, starting with this. We need to start today off by talking about this just very tragic news around Hayden Panettiere dying at just 36 years old. You had her dad confirming her death in a statement saying, "It is with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden," saying she was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen. While we're still learning about the circumstances of her death, she was reportedly found by a friend inside of a South Carolina home, and emergency medical service workers responded to a call about a person in cardiac arrest. And while you've got places like People magazine calling this an apparent overdose, the cause of death has not been officially determined yet. In fact, an autopsy is actually happening today. This death, it sparked a lot. Are you ever fans, people who grew up watching Heroes or Nashville or Ice Princess, mourning her loss? And because she's someone who's been acting since she was 11 months old, one, she has a lot of fans, but also two, that's brought a lot of conversations up. And it's led to a lot of speculation, which we're really not going to dive into here, but it's also led to a lot of conversation, especially because as an adult, she's become a very outspoken voice in the mental health space. You had her being open about her serious struggles with fame, alcoholism, depression, and abusive relationships. You also had her speaking out about giving up custody of her.
And abusive relationships as she gives up custody. I mean, I don't mean to be the one to judge here, but if we're going down the conspiracy rabbit hole again, like, what is she doing in the mental health space, getting a book deal, talking about abusive domestic relationships while her fucking ex-husband takes ownership of her daughter because she literally by the court system isn't allowed to have her own daughter. But let's write a book about mental health and how abusive my boyfriend was.
Kaya amid her battle with addiction.
You need to stop this glorification,
guys.
Was like these women are fucking nuts, and
the
you
most
keep
heartbreaking
letting
thing
them
I've ever,
be this way.
Ever had to do in my life.
We even had her talking in detail about those topics in her memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, which came out last May. And actually, that same month, she went on Jay Shetty's podcast on purpose to promote it in a bittersweet interview where she bared her soul about those hardships. But also, she expressed optimism about her future.
I have shaken off all of this.
That seemed like somebody that's sad or somebody that's on drugs and lying. There's a reason she only went on Jay Shetty's podcast and not anywhere else. She's one of the most primal A-listers of the 2000s era. The only podcast she can get on her book deal is Jay Shetty. Who the fuck is that?
This darkness and this negativity, and that means that I've closed one door and another door is opened.
This isn't an Epstein Island thing. This is a drug
possibility, all the possibilities, all the exciting possibilities.
Literally telling her here. Have a book where you get to lie as a drug addict, and we all get to believe you. Memoir, instead of, like, again, you're supposed to go to rehab. We're supposed to say, no, you're a liar. No, we're not going to trust you until you stop fucking lying and stop taking drugs. And instead, with Hollywood, what we do is we give them a book deal and say how abused she was and give her on a podcast. And look at her opening up. She's a fucking drug head.
several
lost
traumatic
her
incidents
daughter.
that happened specifically because she was a young woman in this industry, claiming that when she was 18, she was taken onto a yacht by someone that she trusted, escorted to a small room, and placed next to an undressed, quote, very famous man.
Yeah, a very famous man. But then when asked what happened in that room, she said nothing and said that she hid on the boat until they got back to shore. Naked. She naked hid on the boat when she, like, her own fucking words, guys. I just...
And you had her saying it, she quickly realized she was in danger.
Oh, it's an Epstein Island thing. Oh,
that line
Hollywood
in
is
me,
a
that
sick
fire
industry.
in me, my hair stood on.
She's a drug addict. She's a drug addict, lost her fucking kids, and then Hollywood allows you to have this woman feminism bullshit where, oh, you get to be in the mental health space. She's not mentally well. Who the fuck vetted this book?
And I...
Philip DeFranco is one of the worst people on YouTube. Well, for one, he's like the reason I'm here. I mean, he was like literally, him and Ray William Johnson are fundamentally the start. His staff has reportedly come out about his terrible behavior and emotional control. He has multiple videos justifying, apologizing for himself. I don't care about cancel culture, and I think you're a gay fucking retard if you want to try to cancel anyone.
What became
I think
ferocious,
you're a gay fucking
I was
retard
like,
for trying to
this is
cancel
not
anybody.
Happening, but I had nowhere to hide. And I bolted, and I
think if we should cancel anybody, it should be the drug addicts that lose their children and not allow them book deals about mental health and how abusive the ex-husband who has your child legally was to you. Quit the victimhood. This is why she's dead. Because you let her fucking take drugs, write books about mental health, and glorify herself when she's losing her children.
I hid
I'm
wherever I
unlikable?
could think of to hide on a boat. On a boat. There was no jumping off and
She had
swimming
to
away,
hide.
and there was nobody.
She was naked at 18 and told by a female she trusted that she would go to this boat, and then she had no idea there was nothing else going on, and then a rock star had his hands up like this because it was so normal to him, and she was just walking around naked, and then the Israelites came in and dumped her off the boat like Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, right? Fucking crackhead be crackhead. Crackhead don't need no podcast. Crackhead don't need no book. Crackhead need to shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking crackhead and try to get your fucking crackhead fucking ass off of fucking crack so you can goddamn be a fucking mom. Same thing to Hunter Biden. Quit glorifying these fucking retards.
Who was going to, I realized that there was nobody who was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing.
Canceling pedos is okay too? Yeah, I guess that's... Ronnie, don't make me justify cancel culture, all right?
New to them.
You also had Panettiere claiming that an Oscar-winning actor once exposed himself to her during a party when she was just 19, and that an NBC executive kissed her on the lips in 2008. And so with all this, you had many feeling like her story and her honesty about various struggles...
The reason that he's not getting into the details of the gossip is because he's on the same train as me. He's going, all right, what in the fucking Candace Owens universe are y'all talking about? This is a crackhead who should have never been given a book. And then she sat on one podcast and talked about how she was raped but not raped and ran around naked at 18 around a fucking boat because of some rock star until they got to shore. She lost her kid.
It opened up a much
She doesn't deserve to be a mental health expert.
And how that can affect them in the long term. People like Amanda Bynes, Drake Bell, Aaron Carter, DeVay Chase, all of them, they struggle with some form of substance abuse, and many also allegedly dealt with sexual abuse.
And this is why we do look in on Philip DeFranco every once in a while, the original YouTube news, because at the end of the day, this is a lot more common sense than the shit that the fucking Fox and the CNN are giving us on this.
Now with Panettiere, you have a lot of people saying this is especially heartbreaking because it felt like she was turning a corner. Though again, I want to be clear, we're not actually going to know why she died.
Right? See, he's doing the same thing as me. You can't justify it, though, because the justification and allowance of her getting a book deal, being on a podcast, while she has her kids taken away and ends up dying of a drug overdose, we shouldn't have given her access to those things. Do not glorify people and give people second chances that are drug addicts that don't deserve them. If you're a drug addict, you don't deserve second chances until you are proven to be off drugs. Period.
But what I would like to do here is to end this segment by sharing a moving message Panettiere gave at a recent book signing about how she'd like to be remembered.
So many people have come up to me within the industry and outside of the industry and shared their stories with me and said, because you've talked about your mental health, it gave me the courage to.
No, see, we're amplifying crackheads. Because you spoke about your mental health, it was great for me to speak about my mental health, and then I fucking died after losing my daughter and lying about rape. Stop glorifying mental health. The mental health is, take it out of the fucking equation. These fucking women. These are the same fucking women that sit there and Lindsay Clancy didn't murder her children. Actually, the husband did. Actually, mental health should be speaking. No. This is not somebody that is mentally well right now while speaking in public about how she's so courageous for her mental stability. Fucking nuts.
To be honest about mine and get myself help, and you saved my life. It's a big
The book deal and the glorification and the clapback saved your life for a minute until you decided to take drugs in South Carolina and die on a fucking Monday or on a Sunday afternoon at what? 2:30 in the afternoon, not giving a fuck about your kid, not giving a fuck about your parents, not giving a fuck about what this meant to anybody, just a selfish fucking ignorant fool doing drugs and killing herself. Do not glorify this.
And I was like, this is
selfish.
I can hopefully leave
Selfish.
a better place than I found it.
You know, with all this, I am wondering, you know, what will you remember most about her? Which of her projects or interviews really stuck with you? And then also, what does it say about, or, you know, how can we keep working to make the entertainment industry safer for young stars and women? But then from that...
Okay. Whew, gotta get off that one now. All right, Tupac Shakur case. Nah, let's skip that for right now. We might go to that later. Right now, details Ukraine strike.
Ukraine
It's
strikes
Russia.
back, launching a deadly drone attack on Russia, one of its largest in the war. Meanwhile, Russia continues to bombard Ukraine's capital of Kyiv. Stephanie Bennett reports live from London for us. Stephanie.
John, it was yet another night of deadly strikes on both sides of this war. In this year, Kyiv, of course, has been stepping up its long strikes deeper into Russia, launching long-range missiles and swarms of drones targeting military and energy facilities.
That's how you really feel?
It's destroyed warehouses,
really
Russia's online retail giant, similar to Amazon, burning billions of dollars worth of merchandise. But Kyiv accuses it of handling military goods. Russia's Ministry of Defense said it had destroyed 822 Ukrainian drones overnight. Some 600 were heading towards the capital.
Get these drones over Iran now. Get these Ukrainian drones in Iran now.
Killed in several homes.
Send out the Iranian drones or the fucking Ukrainian drones to Iran now.
Railway station and reports of
Enough
a
with the
Russian
Russia.
fuel plant
I like
also
Russia.
damaged
Come on.
elsewhere. Meanwhile,
You bullying
President
Russia.
Volodymyr
We all
Zelensky said
bullying
at least
Russia.
3 people were killed and more than a dozen others injured across
Looks like
Ukraine,
Russia struck back.
hitting
Oops.
a steel plant. And in Kyiv, a Russian missile sparked a major fire at one of the city's largest
Shit,
book
that lady's
markets.
like, I was just fucking at the daycare and then they blew it up. I can't believe this shit. I would be doing the same thing. I'd be calling my mom too. I'd be like, what the fuck? Mom, I went to work and they blew up my fucking daycare.
Leaving rows of stalls
I
burned
can't
out,
handle
police
this shit.
destroyed, ruining people's
Bro,
lives.
that is wild.
The market has been completely destroyed. The entire market, from one end to the other.
Fuck.
Not a single stall is left.
It was food supply.
And meanwhile,
Well.
in Romania, a jet shot down a drone that strayed into its airspace. They're not sure which side sent it yet, but it is actually the 4th time so far this year that something like that has happened.
Jesus
Very
Christ.
nervous situation for them as well. Back to you, John.
That terrible war goes on. Stephanie Bennett.
Yeah,
Stephanie, thank you.
I can't believe how terrible that war is in Ukraine, says the Jewish News Network. Anyway, on to Iran and how we have to blow them up.
Ukraine attacking Russia in one of Kyiv's largest aerial attacks
get
of
the
the
CNN
war.
coverage on this real
Local
quick.
authorities say at least 6 people were killed in the attacks. Russia says it shot down more than 800 Ukrainian drones overnight, nearly 200 of
800
those
of
in the Moscow region. Ukraine is increasingly firing at targets deep within Russia, including warehouses Kyiv claims are supplying the Russian military. Russia firing back at Kyiv overnight with a mix of drones and missiles. Ukraine's Air Force says it did not shoot down any of the ballistic missiles, again highlighting Ukraine's short supply of missile interceptors. And we are joined now by CNN military analyst, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton. Colonel Leighton, what do you read into Ukraine's strategy here in launching these massive attacks while their own defense is hampered by the shortage of interceptors?
Yeah, Brian, good to be with you. One of the
let's check it out. This is our boy, No Cap on God. Okay, just so you guys know, he took a huge sponsorship from Kelshi. But the reason that we're looking at this is they're saying that the reason that James Fishbach is not going to win is because he was dating this blonde lady, Francesca, and had a 30% odds of winning. And then he broke up with this Francesca lady, and now we're going to get an interview from her.
Really beautiful.
Thank you.
She voted for X, who dumped her.
The alleged first lady of Florida was me. His alleged wife was me. You saw me everywhere with him, and then suddenly I was nowhere with him. And then suddenly Red, wife, showed up, and what happened to his first wife? There was an uproar. The people were upset. They were told they were going to get Francesca, and they got rug pulled last minute. But I think Fishbach is a great candidate for governor. He does still have my full endorsement. I think he would be an amazing politician.
Yeah, so it's James Fish Sticks is going up against Byron McDonald's.
Okay, awesome. I love James Fish Sticks.
Yeah.
I love James Fish Sticks. See what I mean? The people in Miami know who James Fish Sticks is.
Do you like McDonald's?
I actually do love McDonald's. Yeah.
Do you want McDonald's to be in all schools?
Yes.
What happened to Fishbach's odds on Kelshi since he left the campaign?
I mean, I'm sure everyone can see we were polling at 36% in January when Francesca was the first lady, and then, you know, you can look at what he's polling now on Kelshi.
Do you think Fishbach's odds to win now on Kelshi are greater than your chances of getting back together?
To get back together, we would be ruining a marriage, a family, a divorce, and honestly, I think Valeria is a nice girl. I'm not interested in ever getting back with Fishbach.
What do you like about Fishbach's policies?
So things that I hate more than I hate my ex-boyfriend: flock cameras, Palantir, OnlyFans.
A Republican candidate for governor.
Getting rid of flock cameras, getting rid of OnlyFans, and getting rid of this bullshit.
Wants to bring in what he calls a 50% sin tax
on whatever you so-called earn via that online degeneracy platform.
The OnlyFans tax was one of my biggest whispers into Fishbach's ear. It was honestly my idea.
Sexy. Do you have a popular channel?
Yeah, I do OnlyFans.
Oh, great. Yeah. So what's your favorite content to make?
My favorite content to make is the one when I pop the pussy wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. It's really easy to make.
When did you learn you had that skill?
Honestly, when I was 18, I was like, yeah, I kind of started popping it illegally, so.
Yeah. You heard at all about the governor's race in Florida? Are you from Florida?
I live in Florida, but I have no idea about what you're talking about. What
about doing a political video in Miami is no one votes or ever thinks about politics, so you get really raw answers. One of the governors
This is why he's gonna
wants
lose,
to ban
guys.
Yeah.
OnlyFans. What do you think about that?
I mean, they are not gonna do it because it's billions of dollars. So they don't ban tobacco, they don't ban weed, they're gonna ban OnlyFans, right? That makes double the money.
You would be great at OnlyFans. That's the irony, which you would never do.
I would never do OnlyFans.
You'd be a star.
I know.
A Christian OnlyFans star.
A Christian?
That would be my first subscription, to be honest.
Wow, you would subscribe to Francesca OnlyFans?
Yeah, you're smart. You got it all, you know.
Wow, I know. Riz on camera. Alpha Chad Lionel Riz? Alpha Chad Lionel Riz?
What do I need to do to become an alpha?
I like it.
You seem pretty alpha, Lionel. Look at you. You're so tall and handsome.
Calling him by his
blonde hair,
legal name?
blue-eyed.
Yeah.
It's so good, right?
I know about the alt-right. It's
So
all
left
about
off her
it's all about the liberal chads. Right
The
here.
liberal
It's all
New
about
York
the coastal
chads.
elite New York chads. What issues are important to you?
Let's see. Immigration,
Yeah.
women's rights.
Feminism or like no men and women sports vibes?
Oh, like feminism, medical care.
Yeah.
Feminism or no
abortion
women's
rights.
But Bobby, you better be voting Fishbach, y'all. Come
Is
on.
masculinity
Don't be
and
playing
femininity
that
a
fucking Byron
construct?
Donald's fucking bullshit.
I think
to a large extent, it is a societal construct. I think that, like, they're boxes that we've created as a society, and it's just, like, ingrained in us.
Would you date a bisexual guy?
I would, yeah. If I
Have
loved
you?
him. No, I have not.
Do you look for masculinity in a partner?
Okay, I do because I feel like I'm just attracted to that.
Since most people don't vote, you need to go on Kelshi to find out where people are putting their money, where their mouth is.
Right, but again, like, who owns the most money? That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the person that wins the fucking election, as we saw with Francesca Hong. I think that now, I mean, it's very easy for a candidacy to say, oh, I got to make sure I look really good on Kelshi the night before the election. So let me have my donors dump billions of dollars into Kelshi over the next 3 months to make sure that the odds of Fishbach winning are 1.7%. How could he win on Kelshi? He only has 1% odds of winning. There's no way. Don't put your money on that. Meanwhile, the bets for Byron Donalds are 300,000, 300,000, 300,000, 300,000, because they're fucking donors.
My girl put her money on my booty hole last night, though.
Were you celibate with James Fishbach?
Yeah, I was. It's public info. I was. No fornication before marriage. No e-boys can hit.
Do you think celibacy was a factor in your breakup?
No.
Respect. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Women don't realize that feminism is only helping out the men. Men are getting laid for free because they bought you a $20 cocktail at the bar.
One person we talked to talked about how feminism actually helps men because it allows them to get sex without commitment.
I mean, I guess that's one angle to look at it. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. All right, I guess that's... Vote Fishbach if you're in Florida tomorrow, guys. I will see you around 6 p.m. tomorrow night when we go live for primary night 3. And we try to double the money. Last primary, we pulled off one of the greatest upsets going against Francesca Hong, and we made over $100 live on the show. Make sure that you come and you check us out tomorrow night as we go with the Kornacki cam, as we look at everything going on in Florida, and we put that money where our mouth is right now. Let's check Kelshi out on that right before we leave, okay, guys? Because right now, we put $10 down today, and we also put $5 in before. So we have $15 right now on Fishbach. But we only have $6 left on Fishbach. But if Fishbach were to win, it would be $721. But again, we're not looking for him to win. We're just looking for 40%. And if he gets up to 40% odds at any point in the night, we will be cashing out at $200. Guys, put your bets in now. Fight for America. Fight for America first. Fuck Byron Donalds. I don't want no more McDonald's. I only want fish sticks. Let's go fish sticks. And wow, look at that, guys. Holy shit. You're watching No News is News. Gavin Newsom pulls another one off. JD Vance stays retired tomorrow night. And Gavin Newsom has 23 wins as well now. John Ossoff with 1 win. Gavin Newsom with 23 wins, Marco Rubio with 23 wins, and J.D. Vance still retired with 83 wins for President of the United States. I will see you all tomorrow for primary night in Florida. Until then, peace.